One, and we are live.
All right, welcome one and all to the penultimate episode of the MergeMasters 2024 live stream. We
And
are
we are
talking about
live.
the final largest class, Gestalt, which is six or more
Gestalt. 6 plus,
blasters.
6 or more.
So that provides a lot more opportunity for unusual usage of blasters, and that stimulated a lot of very impressive creativity.
Yeah, we got a lot of skill going on, a lot of great contenders, and yeah, it's, as you said, it's the penultimate. There's no pen, but there is a sword in this one, so
Oh,
we'll
well,
see which one's mightier.
fair enough.
I know we normally been going down the spreadsheet for the schedule, but we do have someone who has limited time. So once we get our announcements underway, we will be going with Tusk first because Tusk, the library Tusk's at, closes in an hour. So don't worry, Tusk. We're going to get to you first. I know you're in chat, and we got you, bro.
Could we go over mine first? Yeah. Yep. We're working on that right away. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to go through all of the entries for Gestalt, and then after we have covered everybody, we'll go give a brief run through on what the voting is going to look like, and then we're going to post that ballot in the chat, and then in the
Discord.
in the
We're gonna
description,
print it out, put it on light poles everywhere. So it'll be on a banner somewhere.
So pretty much anywhere you have seen MergeMasters information, you will find that same source has the voting ballot posted. But we'll go into the particulars on the ballot and what that looks like afterwards. So we have got Tusks chomping at the bit. So let's drag him in.
Do we want to drag him in first? How do you want it?
Well, he's not in the waiting room anymore. Where'd you go?
Was in the waiting room. I mean, we do our normal thing. We talk about. Let's jump over to Tusk's thing and talk.
Yeah, Tusks, if you're still listening and you're in the chat, are you able to join us in the waiting room and talk, or are you just going to communicate through the YouTube's chat?
And in Vile, I'll be pinging you. You're gonna go right after Tusk. We just had to change the order because of Tusk's limited time. We're just trying to accommodate anyone. But we got you, man. You can't talk, but you can answer questions. If you want to jump in and listen to us so there's no stream delay, that's also fine. And then if you just want to type it out, you just type. You could either message me on Discord, and I can just I'll do my best impersonation of you, even though I've never heard you. So if you want to do that, you can jump back in the waiting room and then just type out in real time.
Yeah, that'd actually be pretty good. Just that, so we can cut out that stream delay on each question.
Yeah. Talk about your long crossfire. Oh, there's Tusk.
Awesome. So yes, what we have is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crossfire long crossfire.
Yeah.
With the world's longest prime.
Longest. I mean, it's a sensible prime. Right? It's sensible. It's only what?
I don't know if there's anything sensible about the build, and I think that's part of the novelty.
So Tusk, if you want to just talk with me on Discord, like just send me messages, is that easier? I think just messaging me over Discord would be the quickest. And I can then relay. Give me the answer. Yeah, give me the answers on Discord. If that works. I'm gonna make this trying to make this as easy for you as possible. But you tell me. We're more than So
did you get did you see the video he posted this morning? Because we could drag that through, and he has a little bit of information on that.
Yeah. So what we'll do, Tusk, is we'll play your video, and any time you want to message something. So let me what's a good Tusk voice? Like I don't know.
As long as it's not a robot.
Tusk says, cool, cool. If this works, it works.
All right.
Wow, movie voice. All right.
That's what I imagine Tusk sounds like. Even though actually no,
In
I
a
have
world.
I have heard Tusk's voice. It's a video. So yeah, let's go
Oh,
to the
that's right. Yeah,
video.
let's watch the video.
Where is Tusk? I have there we go. So yeah, let's pull this up.
So this is my Gestalt MergeMasters entry. I figured because everyone else was taking it serious, then there's enough serious builds, so, and I already did one, so why not do a silly build? Because, to be honest, I think they're a lot more fun. And as you can see, well, how is this supposed to be serious? The majority of the prime is completely unnecessary, and there's way too much dead space, but it does fire. Yes, it is, because it's in the Gestalt category, there are 6 crossfires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Yes. The reason I did this build is because I had 6 lying around, and to be honest, what else are you supposed to do with crossfire? They're pretty much, for the majority, kind of useless when it comes to doing builds. Anything else? There's some flat bar up here to replace the slide. Because I was feeling lazy and did not want to go through with a full build, I only used hot glue, and because of that, it only took about 4 hours to make this. Yeah. It's the long crossfire, or crossfire spelled with 6 of each letter instead of 1. Yeah, this is my Gestalt MergeMasters entry.
All right. So 4 hours to make. Is this the quickest? The quickest Gestalt entry? We have to ask now. We'll have to ask everyone. It's like, how long? Was it more or less than 4 hours?
I don't
And
think
so
I can mod anything like that in
I could
under 4 hours.
I could take something out of the box in 4 hours. So
Yeah.
yeah. So what was the inspiration, Tusk? What was you just wanted to make a little silly thing?
Yeah, we do have to appreciate the commitment to the bit.
The bit is very, very good. Oh, we got Tusk typing. The anticipation.
Oh man.
So Tusk says, I was bored and I had 6 crossfires lying around, so why not?
What else is
And
a guy to do?
Yeah. That's that is fair. That is really fair. Why no duct tape though? You said you just did a hot glue. Why not go that extra shiny mile with duct tape?
Oh, it'd probably get in the way of the priming handle, the priming slide.
Oh,
Yeah. Or it'd cover up the half rainbow of colors.
true.
And
But
while this is a bit of a silly build, you do have to appreciate the I guess the just hey, these things stack together really well. It's kind of
So
like go
Tusk
ahead.
is saying the duct tape would mess with the lines of the blaster, which is fair.
Critical aspect.
Yeah, and as you said, it is as much as a silly build. You got the whole thing to align in 4 hours with just hot glue.
And it functions.
It functions.
It's one thing to look at. It's another thing to have it work.
Exactly. You didn't just like hot glue it together and go, I'm done. Like I was seriously also considering doing a silly entry where I just duct tape a bunch of blasters and just fire one. But
You've never done that before.
No, never.
Or been party to it.
No. But yeah, this is I looked at it and I got a chuckle out of it. Like right when you first posted it. And I was just, yes, it was
So
I do appreciate a silly build. Oh yeah.
It calls to mind Carius and his 3 twin shocks bolted together side by side. Only a different orientation of things here.
So Tusk is saying you don't want to see the top view. it's not straight. My second long crossfire is 12. So you have a 12 version of it. It's much straighter than this one. No.
Oh,
So
wow.
the sixth one, even though it's not straight, that's meant to go around corners, right? Little CQB. You don't have to check your corners. You just fire around the corner.
Sure, shooting and breeze. So you can kind of
Yeah.
counteract a little bit.
So is the top slide, is that actually connected, or does it just float in prime? That's one thing I'm curious about.
Well, you
And
saw
let's
the
see
video.
well, no, it's there, but it's like, is it just like floating on top, and will it fall off? You turn it upside down.
No, he's got that in the video. You saw that piece of aluminum flat bar that kind of keeps everything
yeah,
aligned and held together.
Crazy. And yeah, no, you're right, 100%. Yeah, I was just too distracted by the 6 blasters hot glued together. Yeah, and so
no
Tusk
way.
is saying, his goal was to make people laugh, and because, as I said in the video, everyone else did serious. So you basically went, why so serious? In that we live in a modding society.
Well, and you said you got a chuckle out of it, so he won.
Yeah.
He has you figured out.
No. So Tusk is saying there is no. Tusk is agreeing with saying, reminding the video that I just watched that I've already forgotten because I have attention span of a child. But yes, there's no return. You could have fit a return spring, like just a really big, clunky return spring. Like go get like a garage door spring and just attach it to it.
I think if you put any kind of spring on there, by the time you pulled it straight, you'd have a straight piece of wire, and it wouldn't want to come back.
But it acts as like a double. It acts as a double blaster because, right, you mount like a demo rocket to the top of the priming handle, so when it returns forward, it just launches the demo rocket.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So are you on eBay looking for old crossfires now too?
I think I don't think anyone
tradition
buys
at this point.
I don't think anyone buys crossfires. They just appear in your part spin, and you go, "Well, I'm not going to do anything with this."
Well, you don't have an excuse anymore.
Yeah, to go dig through my part spin and find my magical crossfires. So it's just saying I want to see more silliness in the hobby, because the whole hobby seems to be focused on performance and doing silly things. It's really fun. It is. And yeah, there's a lot of serious side of the hobby, and I'd love to see more silliness.
I do recall there was a number of kind of slightly silly builds in previous MergeMasters, stuff that was kind of not wasn't the nice beautiful paint with a thick clear coat and all that kind of stuff. It was more just like, oh yeah, stick a couple things together, huh? Well, so
just skewer them together.
There's got to be one in every competition, apparently.
Yeah, and yeah, Tusk says they thrifted it and it was absurdly cheap. I imagine they just give it to you. They're like, here, you're getting a Nerf blaster from a thrift store. Take these. They're taking up room. No one wants. Exactly. You want a box of them? Which, I mean, if they're that cheap, and you already made a 12 one, so is a 24 one next? Are you just doubling, or are you going sequentially? So we're gonna do a 18 next.
An 18 might require more than just hot glue at that point, because I think just gravity alone will be.
You just have to defy gravity. I mean, it's simple. It's a.
I don't know. Defying gravity seems pretty serious.
Or it's a little silly. It depends how you look at it. Yeah. So Tusk saying, I also got 12 for the second one, and it was they were $1 each. The 12 one took 10 hours. Oof. I mean, you're getting into like serious time at that point. Because you took my time. Oh, because you took your time.
Oh, we get the better alignment. So yeah, you get it's not like a diminishing returns kind of thing. It's just
so what you submitted for MergeMasters was like the prototype, the proof of concept. I can put 6 together. Thus, you could put 12 together.
Or did the 12 come first?
No, he said he did the 12 one afterwards.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So just like in the last couple of weeks. Of course, I guess it's probably easy enough to find 10 hours of time to glue a bunch of things together. So fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I almost have this thing set up. That was just saying. 6, it was a random thought, and then wanted to do more. So it's almost like a bit of an addiction. You got a taste for it, and then
Oh, but you didn't want to compromise the existing project.
exactly.
So, okay. Gotcha.
And I'm going to do
Hey, there you go.
this.
Yeah, I was just going to say, everybody can see your things.
Yeah, so I don't want people to see my things. But you can now see Tusk type. So
That was clever. Now you don't have to read as much.
yeah, keep it YouTube safe, Tusk. But I'll put you on screen too. So, but I'll read it out as well because I get it. I get it. This is the internet. People don't read. But yeah, it's yeah. You literally start one. Start on the 6th one the day I can't. Dude, that's I mean,
wild weekend.
that's awesome. That's that because I mean most of the time it's I have this idea for a blaster, and then maybe you order the stuff, and by the time you get it, you just don't do anything with it. But you literally went from the spark of creativity to the actual I don't even know what to call it. Spark of creativity to the actual completed
Actual
thing.
results, yeah.
Yeah, results.
And this is after building a legit entry in the first half of the competition. So
yeah. Then I'll even go back to your page, which it was this. It was make sure I can see this on screen. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. So it was your starting photo that just made me laugh. It was just here you go. I got 6 of the same blaster. And then you just kind of went from there. And then you're like, yeah, I'll cut that open, done. There was it's the whole weekend in, what was that? 1, 2, 3. That's 4 images. It's just awesome. Yeah, and let's see what else he's saying. Let's start. Yeah, it was a weekend. Most of my projects tend to move fast because I don't care about aesthetics. Yeah, if it functions, who cares? Because you use it in like a Nerf war, or even if it's just a sillies round or something. People just go, "Oh, that looks awesome." But then you bring out your 6 long crossfire, and you just go, I just lost to 6 crossfires hot glued together.
No, and again, like you said, a matter of having a concept and then doing it and building something weird is a lot more than a lot of people accomplish. And so if anybody says, hey, you built a weird, silly, dumb thing, then it's like, well, what did you build, other guy?
Yeah.
So more silliness in Nerf. I'm okay with that.
Exactly. Oh,
I do agree with everything's a lot more serious. I mean, since quality's been able to come up, technology's allowed printing and machining to be a lot cheaper and stuff like that, and so it seems like everything became a lot more, everything has to be a little bit more straight-laced and fine-tuned and stuff like that. So it is still refreshing to just have fun with cheap thrifted blasters.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta get a tag and record it. That's just the thing. It's I mean, yeah, sure. What are you getting, like 5 FPS? But still, you can't let the memes be dreams. Oh, please
come back and report.
Photos, videos. I just want to see them. Yes, the MergeMasters want to see too, but I want to see them.
Yes, and we do need an after-action report.
Yeah.
But yes, be really careful so you don't bust it in half like Naptown with an FDL.
Oh. You had to bring that up years later. But yes, any other final questions for Tusks, Mr. Nathan?
Well, I think the build kind of speaks for itself, and Tusks filled in the little gaps that in between. Oh, we have a promise to follow him around at the war with the camera.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna hold you to it, fella.
Give us that footage. and so Tusks, any vote for me? Any final words? I'll make you bigger so we can easily see your final words.
in your own type voice. Oh,
Ooh, there's a
gonna be
lot of
quite a
words going
novel.
on here. Yep.
Yeah,
This is old Tusk's
gonna be so good.
manifesto dissertation going on here. Or Tusk could be like me and types very slowly.
Me too.
Yeah.
Pretty silly things because they all have a lot less on the line, so you can do far more complicated things.
Yeah. And then Tusk
Can we all go out and do more silly things? I endorse the message.
In a world, go do silly things because they have a lot less on the line. So you can do far more complicated things. This is Tusk, and I approve this message.
No musical sting?
No.
All right.
I don't have that set up. I disabled so much after I accidentally fat fingered. There you go.
What? Watch out for next year.
Next year. Yes. Thank you,
Well,
Tusk.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
Yep. Good luck. Take over the library. Go shoot the librarian with that blaster. But let them know I said to do it, so it'll be okay. And yep, I'm gonna just do this. Kick you out.
Alright.
And remove the Discord.
Perfect. Do we want to go ahead and go back to the tippy top, or we have
Yep,
Taryn
so,
hanging
yeah.
out in the waiting room? Do we want to just
Oh,
go all
let's-
wild
let's-
and free?
Nah, let's go in order because I have everything set up in
Okay.
order. So
Okay, well,
it'll make
hopefully
my life
those
a little
chairs
bit
in the waiting
easier.
room are comfortable.
Yeah, they are.
They're
We
newly upholstered.
newly upholstered. Most of them were blasters at one point, but it's fine. It's fine. So,
All right.
that's the
Oh,
wrong
you need
button.
to ping.
gotta
Did you
go-
ping Vile? Oh, hey,
We gotta
he's
go
already
ping.
in chat. Yes, you
Yes.
can. Go ahead and pop right on in.
Yep, just go hop in the waiting room. I am
You can
now
give Taryn a
clean.
high five on your way by.
Yep. And I'll keep an eye out for that.
There he
There's
is.
Vile. And we are dragging Vile in. Right off the top. Oh,
Oh, it's getting crowded in there.
yeah. They're fighting.
Cool.
Oh, what up?
What up? Hello, Twitch
hello.
side as well.
No, I am actually streaming the stream on my Streamception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
appreciated because we tried doing the dual screen thing, but Nathan's
Oh, it can be a
connection couldn't
pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing that can be such a pain. So it was easier for me to do this, and I actually had to like mute your stream and then go into into Discord and then turn up the volume because I have like a whole Go XLR, and I was like trying to make sure that we're not getting double audio, and yeah, fun stuff.
You just do it live, even if it messes
Doing
up
it
a little
live.
bit.
Yeah,
Do it
basically,
live.
we're just doing it live.
Yeah. So you made an amazing stock attached to a blaster.
Would you like
Apparently,
to
yes.
explain
I've
your
heard-
unique paint job?
Yeah, my unique paint job. Well, obviously, I'm going to be entering an unfinished project, mostly because I just ran out of time. I had too much. I talked with Nathan about it. If for anybody who doesn't know, we had Nathan join us over on the Foam News Collective podcast.
Shout out.
Yeah, a little shout out. But
Yeah.
we were talking, me and like Mr. Nathan were talking a little bit about it, and just like the stuff that popped up, and the life just kind of gets in the way. And this was probably the most complicated build I think I've ever tried in my life. Yeah, there's a lot that went into this. I had to
That's
do
obvious.
yeah, a little bit. Because there was no Fearless fire cage, so I 3D designed my own Fearless fire cage. So I had to do design and 3D printing a lot of that. It's a dual stage, so the Fearless fire goes into the the rapid red. So there are 2 stages actually within this. Yeah, it should be in some of the photos in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah, they're about midway down, if I remember right.
yeah, it's about midway down. So I had to do a lot of things. As a matter of fact, like some of the stuff, there's a clamp for the scope that's on this thing, because the one that you actually have is like a bit of an older photo now. And I
Okay.
did send a newer like video to show you sort of the video of the blaster like outside. Yeah, so there's the 3D. So I had to 3D model a whole cage and get that working. I then had to figure out the rev trigger, which is actually a sledge fire. That's been 3D modeled, and it houses an actual Omron switch. So when you hold that down, that revs it.
Nice.
Yeah, I 3D modeled the little cap on the front end, mostly because I hated how the front end looked. And I was like, I really want to give it a bit of a beef to it. And a suggestion from Iron Gopher was actually the EVA foam that's in the front muzzle piece. So
Okay.
that helps to prevent the weight being too heavy in the front. So like this giant scope here, I 3D modeled a clamp, and I'm like, well, let's make it look like cool greeble work. That's actually a real scope. That's a 4x15 Daisy scope that you get for like pellet guns, and that's
crazy.
that's put into that tubing. That's some random tubing I found at like Goodwill outlet. I had to take off, like, there's a notch cut out of it. You can see where the adjustments are for the scope. That actually is what locks the scope in there. The shroud that goes around the scope is actually a projector lens. So I hollowed out a projector lens and put that on there to give it a little bit more of a unique look, because old camera equipment and stuff like that is, especially much older stuff, is really pretty. It's like really nicely turned, you know.
They
like,
made some of the old lightsabers out of old camera equipment, didn't
yeah,
they?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was like an old like flash handle or something like that from an old, you know, camera gear. So a lot of it is old lenses and handles and grips and stuff like that from old camera gear. But the suggestion for that scope was actually from Grimm's, who's in Grimm's Nerf Works, who I do the FNC with, and it's based off of like old late 1800, like early 1900 scopes that used to be on old firearms, like rifles. They just had this long tube that ran down it, and I was like, that's a really cool idea. And funny enough, the way that the flare out on the Fearless Fire worked, it rested right on there, and I was like, this is too stupidly good. Yeah, so here's the video of it where it's currently at. I basically was doing a lot of the sculpting and putty work, and you can see above the trigger guard, I actually changed up. There's now like a ledge there where it used to not be. I actually did a lot of sculpting work with that. And yeah, there was just a lot going into this thing, between just the putty work and like the obviously the stock. The stock was sort of just I just started kind of going crazy with it. And originally I wanted to have the what is it, the Vortex, or not Vortex, the night, or yeah, it was the Vortex Praxis, the Praxis stock. And I took one, and I didn't like how it flared out the bottom, so I grabbed 2 of them and cut them and flipped the top sections of them to cap around, and then I capped it off with a cut down Raider stock. And then I just was like, I don't like this center. This needs to be open. And then I saw the 2 parts that were on the stock, and I was like, what if I made it like a shock, like an actual shock absorber? And then so I scratch built all of that, and there's actually a spring that's made out of faux barrel materials so that you can remove them for paint. Like there is so much. That was also a suggestion, because I was trying to figure out how I could make them removable for painting reasons. And Gopher actually said, what if you try using this material and make like a little spring? So I did, and it works beautifully. Yeah, I made this little cap right here, and I'm planning to do maybe a little bit more plating on it to make it look like metal plates on the side of that, just to give it a little bit more work. But yeah, this was just sort of where I left off.
Yeah, it's still amazing. And so you have a spring, and I'm gonna cut to this, which will appear on the stream. And I remember you also had the old payphone cord. So
Yes.
you just, this is the blaster of just
Jump.
hey, I like that thing. I'm gonna go add it to my blaster.
So here's a funny thing with the payphone cable. And you can see these little, actually in this image right here, these are little holders that I just made, again, sort of 3D printed as like little holder pieces. Payphone cable is a shielded cable. You can run wiring through it. You could do all of that.
Mhm.
I also found that 1/4-inch audio jacks, magically, you can take them apart and they have a little crimp in there to hold on to the cable.
Oh.
That payphone cable fits perfectly into that crimp. And it literally fits into 1/4-inch jacks, and it will then so the whole idea, I actually have a way that I was going to have, because that gives you these really nice like barrels that this cable could run through. So I have it going into the front muzzle piece. It's going to go down the barrel. It's going to have like a couple of twists in it, and then I have some spots on the actual body. And actually, if you looked at the clamp for the scope, it actually looks like a bit of a tube, and there's some 5mm bolts that are in it. I actually was going to put I had a 90-degree audio jack cable that I was going to put into one of those. And it was going to, so that way it's like, because there's a whole storyline that I have behind this blaster, actually. Like, and so a lot of this stuff kind of makes sense when you know the storyline that I was kind of developing throughout it.
Yeah, you're giving it life, essentially.
Yeah, and each one, and I had the shielding cable for other projects because I just think the shielding cable just looked really cool. And it's really nice. It's a polished stainless steel. So
okay.
Oh, and then
so
the battery tray.
You didn't just go, I need a cable, and then you wandered the streets in the middle of the night and you found the now legendary telephone blues, because you don't see them anymore.
No,
you didn't
could
just
buy them
go
on
steal
eBay for a few bucks. You could buy them on eBay
Okay.
for like, I remember, like $5 or $7, somewhere in that range. There's quite a lot. But like, even down to the battery tray, I originally was going to do, because I could see it in the image there, I was going to do that mag, because I really like the little bottom of the double dealer mags. I just thought it was a really cool thing. But the problem is it's that soft plastic. And the other issue is the way that the battery compartment is. The battery compartment, actually, you have to go up through the mag well and put it into where the front grip is, that red grip from the Fortnite, shotgun thing. And when I did a lot of that, I was like, well, shoot, I don't have enough room. So I had to 3D model one. And that way I could actually put magnets into it, and then I could put like a magnet holder, because nothing's actually sitting on it. It can just be magnetically held in there. But I created one that's in the exact same shape, as closely as I could kind of get to the double dealer. So it actually still has the same overall shape of that in it, like contoured and stuff, like to this little front radius piece that I put up to the grip and into the magwell. Yeah, I was trying to find a battery that would fit and be within a shape that could live in this blaster was so difficult. I had to actually change. I was going to run 4 Krakens, and it's actually it's going to be Valkyries into Krakens.
Okay.
And it was actually a pulsar cage 32.5 to a Daybreak cage 39.5 crush. And we calculated it out. The numbers can be kind of vague in what they're at. And I actually found, I was talking to Nathan about this actually, because most dual stage cages, the flywheels are in the same orientation. You just put the spacing the same between both cages, like both sides, and or front and back, and it doesn't matter. When you rotate one of them 90 degrees, they have to align together. And when I put them together, I realized that the front cage, like I have to adjust the flywheels for the Daybreaks slightly differently, because the way that the dart enters, it kind of crushes right down the edge of the Daybreak wheels. Ooh. And like, so I was like, because even on that, even with it crushing the darts incorrectly, I was still getting like 130 FPS. And I'm like, well, it should be a lot higher, but I already know where my problem is, because I can see a cut down the foam. So I knew that it was like not aligning properly. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of engineering that went behind it. There's actually an inner barrel. If I don't know if there's a photo of the interior of like the whole blaster with the flywheel cages put in there. I think I had, I think there was a screenshot at one point. I don't remember, but there was, when I did that, trying to make sure everything was aligned, Yeah, I don't know. And maybe it was up further.
Yeah,
When
I'm
I was
not
trying
seeing it.
to,
But
Oh, I think I seem to recall you had one posted using like the stock cages
yeah, I think it
where
was
it
with
showed the
stock. If you
weird
go up
alignment and stuff.
further,
I don't know. I think you might have shared it in the Discord. I don't know if it ever made it into the
I thought I
email.
did.
There's a very good chance we just missed it.
Nah,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe
that's
it was.
always possible.
Anyways, so what I had to do was I took the stock cages and I took an aluminum barrel, like a long one for like a Swift or something. I
Mm.
put faux barrel material over the top of it. I jammed it down on the interior barrel. It is it's like a Predator from the Busby Predator barrel.
Mm.
And I centered that with just electrical tape because it kind of flares. It has a nice, like, it tapers outward, which is
Yeah.
nice as the barrel goes down, which is great for a flywheeler. So I tapered that in, shoved the barrel down through the first cage and then into the mounting, like the spot on the other cage. And that way I knew that from the first cage all the way forward was going to be perfectly straight. And that's how I aligned the body, the shell, the cages, everything. Was this
Nice.
one giant aluminum barrel that went all the way through it and was centered between everything. And the nice thing about the Fearless or the Rapid Red, it has 2 bolts that hold the fake, like the faux barrel in. I then cut that part off and then DevConned that to the Predator barrel, so the inner barrel is actually bolted in. It is removable.
Nice.
And
Oh.
I actually have that already sanded and painted. It's this beautiful silver, like a metallic paint. And again, when it comes down to the storyline, I have a glow in the dark filament or powder,
Mhm.
and it glows blue like how a reactor core would glow. And I was going to mix it with a lacquer, like an acrylic lacquer that I was then going to coat the barrel in. So that way, those slits on the side of the barrel, I could put UV lighting in there and then it would actually glow through from the inside.
Oh, that
I have so
Ah.
much. You can see why it starts to get that
Yeah.
feature creep sort of,
Yeah.
and you start realizing just how much like obviously I didn't use the barricade. I went different routes. I started grabbing a bunch of different things, but as
Mm.
time went on, like there's just so much that went into it that it's like I just again just kind of ran out of time. And
There.
yeah, and
How many blasters are you up to now?
oh,
Like
let's see.
for this one, like
You have the Rapid Red, Codebreaker, Fearless Fire, Pump SG, Strike Barrel, Tri-Strike Front Muzzle, the 2 stocks, the Praxis stocks, the Hyperfire Cheek Rest, what else would there have been? So 8. Oh no, the Guardian crossbow. So that was also so that'd be 9.
damn.
So we're up into 9 at least on this. Oh, and the top, I forgot. The top of the barrel that is all across the entire top line is actually the inner barrel to a Centurion. Oh, and the Raider stock. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
also the Raider and the Sledge Fire. Sorry. So we're up to 11.
11. And Mr. Nathan, is your competition, does a payphone count as a blaster? Because that would be 12.
Not in this competition, but a
Ah.
future one might involve non-blaster components. So not
So in
this go
future,
around.
payphone may be a blaster.
Possibly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it was funny because even in this image, the first image, I noticed that I still had the Raider piece in there, and it was the bottom of the Raider. I was going to flip it over and put it on the top, but actually part of the code breaker just took over where that was going to live. So it's just like so much going together. Because actually what's funny is in the code breaker, you can see there's an orange piece right at the very front and when you take that out, there's this actually nice little opening that a laser pointer actually lands. And funny enough, it landed just over the top of the Tri-Strike muzzle piece on the front.
Huh.
I have so much that was going into this because I have a whole story kind of already written for it. the whole point of it was based off of a safari like type of hunting rifle. It was supposed to be, think of like Borderlands or these games that are kind of like sci-fi, almost like Western sci-fis where you're just kind of out. And a lot of times back in the early 1900s, you would see these safari hunters that would go out with these absolutely ridiculous firearms. In some cases, some of them were just enormous for no reason. And it was like their elephant guns and stuff like that. And so I started building something that would have been sort of sci-fi related, but still in that same vein. I actually went and found an old Ruger advertisement for a safari rifle, and I rewrote it for this blaster because the blaster's name. Now, here's the funniest part. I named this blaster the Beryllium Carbine. Now, Beryllium
Carbine.
Here's an interesting thing. This is going to get into the Easter eggs of everything that goes into this blaster. Beryllium was just a name that I came up with, and I said, wait a second, let me double check if that is an actual word. The Latin base is ver. Ver goes into virile, meaning manly or masculine. Beryllium is actually the plural for masculine. And I thought it was hilarious. I was like, this is a perfect thing for a safari one where people go out and try to like hunt the biggest, animals they can and stuff. So I went down. So it's the Beryllium Carbine. And I had this whole thing written up again from this old Ruger advertisement I got. And if you want, I can read it. I know we're going kind of long here, but I can read the whole thing off. So this was, again, I did not actually change that much other than some of the names, some of the things about like the weapons, like stuff like that. That's really all I changed. Most of the rest of this is almost a direct pull from the advertisement, which is hilarious to me.
So let's get in character really quick. So what are we in a space station on a
so right
planet?
the idea that I would look at is you would be like when you're playing a game, you see these weapons that are in like say some space station or whatever, right? And that's where you go for a hub, and they usually have a arms dealer there, and this would be their advertisement to sell this particular firearm, right? This blaster.
And that's I'm Commander Shepard, and this is the best firearm in the Citadel type thing.
This is a very specific type of firearm for a very specific type of customer base, if you will. And again, this is mostly how this was written from, and this was from like the 60s. I want to say this was a very old advert that I found. So. Proven on the plains of Galee's 667cc, the Beryllium Carbine is a technological breakthrough for the benefit of galactic sportsmen. The entire recent history of cartridge development illustrates the trend towards depleted uranium cartridges, giving equal or greater power in a smaller package. An outstandingly successful example is the .92 Spear. These shorter cartridges make possible shorter, lighter firearms. The new 3.2 kilogram Beryllium Carbine was designed around the .92 Spear cartridge and has, as a result, more killing power for its length and weight than if it had been built for any other commercially available cartridge. With a barrel length of 59.7 centimeters, the muzzle velocity of the big 238U round is over 7,800 feet per second. The performance of the carbine on beasts has been proven not only on mutant creatures of Earth, but on insectoids, reptilians, armored amphibians, and many other species across the galaxy. In every characteristic, this handsome little weapon must please the discriminating hunter. The rakish but traditional lines, the substantial construction, the foolproof dependability of the unique Beryllium self-loading mechanism are but a few of its appealing qualities. Perhaps best of all, the mild recoil and low intensity report make practice shooting a pleasure. That is quite literally.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to know all of the Easter eggs that are within this, Galee's 667c is an actual Earth-like planet. So that is a real thing. The 92nd element is uranium. So the .92 is a real thing. Spear spear used to be an actual firearm, like ammunition. I actually have a Centennial spear bullets from 1964 thing hanging on my wall from 1864 to 1964. I have that. So spear is an actual round. 238U is the actual elemental weight of uranium. 59.7 centimeters was the original barrel length of this blaster. This blaster is actually 44 inches long from the very tip, from stock to front muzzle. It's a full rifle. It is an actual rifle. 7,800 feet per second, if I remember correctly, was Mach 1. I want to say.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of the other things, like the last paragraph, literally the only thing that was changed in that was beryllium. Everything else was the same. Like this, like a lot, again, some like the animals and stuff like that was mostly also changed. Everything else was a direct pull from this old advertisement, which is why I was like, this is perfect. This is ridiculous. So yeah, that's that gets into the back lore of this whole thing and the direction I was trying to go with a lot of like my decisions on how it was built and why it looked a particular way or why I chose this or chose that or the idea behind it. So
yeah, and it is crazy because you go.
I assume that when the blaster is completed in all of its glory, that you will also have a customized printout of that advertisement to display along with it that we will be able to share later on. I
have already done research. I have a Snapmaker. I have a Snapmaker 2.0 that has a CNC router option on it. The idea that I have is to make a hollow display where I can carve into acrylic all of the text. And that way I can then put an LED strip on either end of this and it will illuminate the text for me.
Nice.
I've already done the research on how to do it. Yes, because I was like, this is the level of work I've put into this. I want it to be displayed as the most like absurd thing. Because I think, I had another part of the entire line of beryllium firearms is on display at your leading trading post arms dealer or signal ahead for a holo tour. Was literally something else I put in the advert, like at the very end, like. Because it was a point, right? You're in your ship and you're like, well, I'm looking for a new weapon that I need for this thing, and you could take a look at your adverts and stuff. But yeah, so now you know how like absurd I was trying to get into this build.
And you kept finding things to yeah, it's just like you kept finding things to add. I have no doubt when you're finally done with this, we're not gonna be there's gonna be like 20 blasters. It's gonna look ridiculous, amazing, and yeah, and then the holographic thing just is above and beyond, which is awesome. Love it.
I just, if you're gonna go crazy, why not go as far as you can, right? Just go.
Yeah.
I already threw like everything in the kitchen sink at it. It was like,
yeah.
Why
sink,
not?
Yeah.
Even when I put in
where is the kitchen sink part? I mean, you got old faucets, something.
I'm still cutting it up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Turning it into a powder. Funny enough, when I put that scope together, I found out how to modify scopes. So now I know how to actually modify that scope if I want to.
No.
I don't Vile Mods is not a like I really live up to the mods name. I found out, so that's a 4x15. I figured out how to make it a 2x15, 6x15, or 8x15s, which changes the viewing area on its magnification. Yeah.
Because, why not? Why not?
Because, if you're going to mod a blaster, why not mod the parts on it too?
Yeah, mod everything.
Yeah.
Mod it all. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yep. So, Mr. Nathan, any other questions you want for Vile?
Well, honestly, we could probably spend the next 45 minutes to an hour asking more questions.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I would rather wait until this thing is in paint sometime, and then we'll probably be dragging you back in for some kind of special.
I will give you one last thing, and actually, Nathan, you will like this, and I have a feeling why, because you're an old car guy, kind of like me. I'm a car guy as well. The paint theme has already been chosen. The colors are vintage teal. There's two different colors of teal. and it's based off of a Duesenberg,
Oh, very nice. Very
which is
nice.
partially where the shielding came from because of the exhaust shielding that they used to have coming out the side of the Duesenbergs.
Yeah.
That was where the shielding cable came from for that. There you go.
Nice.
Ooh.
So then, Vile, any vote for me? Any final words?
Vote. I wish I could have had it completed, but vote for the absolute absurdity of this thing. I don't know.
But
Vote with your wallets. I mean, vote with your thoughts and
your hearts and whatever
your
other
hearts and
squishy bits you
everything else.
got.
Are you
Right,
suggesting
yeah.
this will be available for purchase later?
Only from your local trading post arms dealer. Yes, at the next space station you go to.
Well, he's
right,
Vile
I'll hold you
Mods,
to
and
it.
that's his favorite blaster on the Citadel. So thank you very much. And
Thank
yes,
you guys.
we're gonna kick you out
All right,
later.
Later.
All right. Yeah, that is an awesome blasters. So
Yeah, and we talked quite a bit, kind of leading up to the podcast the other night, and he gave me kind of the laundry list of distractions and illnesses and things that pulled him away from being able to complete this the way he was hoping to, and it's kind of a bummer because I'm painting pictures in my head of what this could look like.
it's
and
gonna be beautiful with the stand and the holographic projection thing. Yeah, we're gonna.
It's going to be over the top.
Yeah, or that's gonna go. So now, moving on to the next one, we have Grim Reaper, another very heavy hitter in this category.
Ooh,
With
they're built
the
very early.
Grim Reaper, I mean, I think
think it was
Grim
within
Reaper is
the first
actually
month,
the
wasn't it?
second fastest one. So obviously, Tusks was the fastest one at 4 hours, and Grim
So
Reaper.
Grim Reaper must have taken like 12 to 14 probably.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
something.
I mean, Grim Reaper decided to go eat. It took it a little bit, and then they hopped in and did it. But I do see a Grim Reaper in Discord, so I'm going to grab said Grim Reaper. If I remember, there we go. If I can do this, and bam. And Grim Reaper, are you there?
Hello, hello.
You might give Grim a
Nearly.
few.
Probably in the middle of eating a sandwich
minutes
right now.
Yeah, exactly. Got to refuel.
From the
Or-
waiting room, he's probably over there by the vending machine getting some peanuts or something.
Or he's. I mean, it's also Grim Reaper, so maybe they just made another mod really quick and just finishing touches.
Right in the waiting
Grim-
room.
Yeah, because Grimwood made
Hello.
like another 3. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, my computer was connecting.
All good. How's it going?
So, I am really excited right now.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Good. Yeah. So tell us about Not Ready to Die.
So, this is obviously a just basic Raven build that I did a lot of body work to. Honestly, it's not a super heavy hitter. In the start entry photo, you can see a lot of different things going on. I had a lot of different plans going on. A lot of side paneling, like the Rapid Strike pieces, and funnily enough, a lot of the blasters came from different people in the hobby. So the Zeus came from Kinetic Turtle, or what's his name on YouTube? KT, who's on Phone News Collective. The Raven came from Iron Gopher. The Alpha Hawk pieces came from Vile, who was there earlier. And the kind of history before I started the competition for this blaster was this was all put into a parts box, and it was actually going to be saved for my last ever integration, because for a period of time I was going down a downward spiral of the hobby, and I put aside a couple blasters to say, okay, if I decide to leave, this is my last hurrah. This will be everything that I've learned and put into one blaster.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some friends of mine kind of talk me out of it, which I am very thankful for that, because I was at a very low period of my life when I put all these into that box. But for this competition, I knew that I wanted to make something that was going to stress me out and take a little while to make. Because if I'm
Looks like
gonna
you did
enter
it.
something, I might as well go to the highest difficulty I could with
Go
the
big or
most
go
garbage
home.
blasters. Exactly.
Yeah.
um. So the blaster itself is actually based off of an integration made from Searing Phoenix, I believe, um, with their I forget the name of the blaster,
It was Hugin's
but it
Claw.
has the Zeus stock. Hugin's Claw, yeah. I
Yes.
remember you making a video about that, and it stuck in my head for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I know the feeling.
the way he made that was just so beautiful. So I wanted to take it and make my own spin off of it, which is why all the nice stuff is in the back and all the mediocre stuff is in the front. So
There's
I'd say it
nothing
balances quite
mediocre about
nicely.
this. Yeah, no, this is this thing is a work of art, and yeah, it's and the fact that you went all the way to the snow to capture that perfect picture is
I
just
live in New York, and I took this picture, what, January
mm,
or something?
I hope not.
Um,
The competition didn't start until February.
or no, Nathan, I don't know dates anymore.
Grim
Yeah, no,
traveled
it's
back
going
in
around.
time. So it's not just a blaster; it's a
I feel
time
like I
machine.
completed this blaster like 4 years ago. I've done a lot of things since.
Yeah,
since
you've made
this
about 14
blaster.
other blasters since. So
Oh,
Yeah, honestly.
yeah, and
I think
they've all
Nathan
been
knows this.
amazing. But
Thank you. Nathan knows this probably the most, but when I start a blaster, it can take a week or it can take like 4 months if I have my mind set to it. Because I remember in the first email I sent, you were like, I don't know if people are gonna believe that you completed this in the amount of time because you work so fast.
well, and that's the thing. And I think what I told you was if I didn't know you, and that this is how you operate. Like if there's anybody else, I probably would have been skeptical. But
Yeah.
yeah, just because you can crank out and be like, "Hey, I bought this thing," and then like 20 minutes later, you're posting somewhere that the thing's all cut up and glued to something else, and it's like, "What the heck?" So, so
yeah,
yeah, I think
I remember the
I
first
believe.
photos.
Well, I think I told you. Do you happen to have any pictures in between just to make this more credible for those who might be just spectating and don't know what your build style and aggressive pace is? But no,
Mhm.
it's not surprising from where I'm at. Just being
I
familiar with your
think
work.
yeah, I think I did a live stream about me assembling this or de-hot
Ah,
gluing it. It might have been with Vile, because I usually co-stream with Vile sometimes. And I think I was
Huh?
de-hot gluing this and putting permatex on it. Um,
Ah. Oh, so
so
this is a newbie looking in. So you removed the hot glue
mhm.
before you put on the final. As a complete
So
amateur when it comes to putting things together.
it's okay. I kind of refined my process of start to finish. Um, so usually I'll cut everything up very roughly, just kind of hold it together, without any adhesives to just have a feel of it. Unless it's
Hmm.
the side panel and I just glue it on. But with the hot glue, I remember Nathan talking about this in one of his uh, introduction to integration videos where you had the spray painted black rapid strike with the raven, and you
ah,
were talking about hot glue alignment.
mm-hmm.
Um, so I usually hot glue blasters together first and kind of sit back and kind of look at them and think, is this what I want this to look like? Do I have enough room to actually work with this? Do I need to add something else? Do I need to take something away? Do I need to replace something? And having the Hugin's Claw as a guide for the stock was very helpful. But when it came to the front pieces, you can see that I used a completely brand new Halo MA40 rifle. I bought that off of Amazon just to use the front barrel off of. Um, to be fair, it was on heavy sale. It was like $25.
Yeah.
But I cut up a complete one just for the front muzzle because I love the way that it works.
Mm-hmm. Some
And
Um,
good
it works.
lines.
Yeah, it works really
oh yeah,
well.
I like this blaster a lot because I didn't use a top rail. Like, there are 0 rails on this blaster, and I actually don't
Hmm.
like rails. Whenever I can, I
Okay.
try to avoid them.
So
So filling the
you
side
want all
panel,
your stuff that would be on the rail built into the blaster, or you just don't feel that
oh
the
yeah,
stuff that you put
absolutely.
on the rails is not necessary.
anytime you put a sight on a rail, in my opinion, it sits way too high. It sits like a quarter of an inch higher than what you'd actually want it to sit. So if you're able to just cut the rail off and cut the middleman out and just glue it to the top of your thing or to the side or under or whatever, you can get a very streamlined look, and you can make it look a lot more cohesive in the fact that it has this sight built in, so it looks more like a finished product than just something slid onto a rail. Um, the the whole left side of it is a little interesting because there's this little sledgefire piece over the Raven's
Mhm.
motor cover. I remember I dumped out my bins because I was trying to look for the Magnus piece that's used to transition the Raven's heavy detail into the Halo blaster without having a
Yeah.
huge gap there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was cleaning up a little bit and I saw the little piece just hanging around, and I was gonna throw it away actually, and then I looked at it and thought, if that is the right size, I can put that on the motor cover itself to add a grill detail. And so I kind of like cut it very crappily with some flush cutters just to kind of see, and it worked out too well. It was so
Yeah.
stupid how well it worked.
It's honestly,
So
it
if you
looks
have a
like
cut-up
that was
Sledgefire,
planned from
it's
the
pretty cool.
beginning. You picked up the Raven and
Oh
you
no,
went,
that was just
I'm gonna put a Sledgefire on this.
I'll put a sledge on it, but that was a complete accident. Um, I will say the addition of the reverse strong arm slide, which was an idea from Nathan's what's that build called that I keep copying from you?
That's the Jackal.
Jackal. Yeah, I want to call it Brittle Star, but that's not what it is. Um,
Nope, that was one
it's
of
a very
yours.
nice detail. One of your
Yeah.
I have
You've done really
three
good
going
things
on
with
right
it.
now. Yeah.
I've been really like. There's been
Um,
times where it's like, ooh, if I do that again, I think I'm going to take a few cues from yours because
I mean, I'd be happy to take pictures. I mean, I did send you a video about how the Thermal Hunter
Mhm.
wiring happened, but the it gives it a nice like curved detail because when you cut a Raven's rail off, it looks very naked in the back without a transition going. In a lot
yeah,
of Raven builds, it's kind of bothered me how it's just like a really octagon shaped or rhombus shaped thing, and then just block. There's no real like swoopy transition that people use. So whenever I try and use that strong arm detail to give it a visor or like an overhang, just to
Mhm.
kind of take away from the fact that there's a motor cover there. Um, it makes it just feel a lot less handmade, in my opinion.
Yeah.
it makes it look a lot less like something's missing.
Oh, absolutely. It makes it
Yeah.
like flow a lot better. Whenever I look at this blaster, I just see it moving with how the top works, where it's all like 45-ish angles and then going slightly down, and then going slightly down, slightly down. Just makes it look like it's moving while standing still.
Yeah.
Aerodynamic.
It's aerodynamic. I could throw that thing. It can go an extra 2 feet. I probably could throw it and it wouldn't break.
Damn.
Good.
No.
Um,
That yeah, no,
Permatex.
and just
good.
looking at like your stock and everything, I have the picture of your stock up on the screen. It's just it's like
Mhm.
it's crazy that that's a strong arm, it's a reverse strong arm slide
Oh, that's
into
the Zeus.
oh no, the Zeus sock, but then everything moving
The
up
Maverick
into
slide.
it, right? Yeah, the Maverick slide, and it's just that's it. It's one injection molded piece is what my brain's telling me, right? It's once again, it's like I see. I'm just looking at it, it's like no, that was one you just painted a blaster. You got this blaster, a really cool blaster off the shelf because it's just so smooth and clean. And then yeah, going into just that Zeus socks, it looks comfortable. It looks like you could lay on it. It
It's
just
very
looks so
comfortable.
Ah, and then
Especially with the
also
truck bed liner on it. It's very
oh, you're doing
nice to
you're doing
shoulder
the
it.
truck bed. Okay, yeah. So we
Yeah, it's a trick that I've pocketed from Iron Gopher.
okay. Yeah, someone else mentioned doing the truck bed liner yesterday, and I'm so terrible with names, I already forgot.
Yeah,
I remember their
that
blaster,
was the Medusa. That was the purple
Medusa. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
I
was it.
have mine. I have
back
mine
to the
coming
list.
Monday. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I just spur of the moment bought it because as soon as I saw truck bed liner, I was like, no, that is too awesome.
You just gotta
And so,
spray to the bottom of your shoes, and then you can get some grip on when you're
and
running.
you'd be like Spider-Man, right? And just kind of walk on walls and everything.
You could have the Cloudy Chance of Meatballs and just spray it on your feet.
Yeah.
Spray on shoes.
Spray on
Spray
shoes.
on shoes. Spray on grip.
Great. Yeah, I mean, it definitely, if you're promoting truck bed liner, it's like, yeah, no, that was a purchase well spent. I don't, like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It was a totally spur of the moment. I need this. I'm gonna get this. But
One thing I will say, it's not like regular spray paint. You got to make sure that your tape lines are very secure because it does tend to leak into undone tape lines. That's kind of
Okay.
why I ended up weathering this blaster. Near the grip, there's a lot of weirdness going on, so I just ended up covering it in tape.
See, so wait, so the weathering was more of an afterthought? Because the weathering just looks
Well,
super
it was
intentional once again from the beginning.
it was intentional, but the way that the grip was, I put a lot more black into that area just to phase out the weirdness that was going on.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna take your word for it because this all looks like no, you 100% meant to do everything. This was all
yeah.
purely planned.
The scratching is actually done with a combination of tools. One is a triangular file, just scraped on with the hard edge just on the plastic to make it look like deep scratching, because it kind of is deep scratching. And then with the tinier details like the name and the quote-unquote kill count on the left side of it on the long shot front gun piece is done with a Dremel burring bit. You just kind of etch it in.
Okay.
You got to be careful with it that you don't go too far, because then you start cutting into more shell than you need to, and you can end up with a through hole in your blaster that you don't want.
An unhappy accident.
And then the other tool is a rock.
Rock. I mean,
That works.
I mean, yeah. If it, any type of rock in particular, any material makeup of said rock.
Preferably one that is outside and
Outside
one
rock.
that's
You're more of like an igneous
yeah.
kind of guy, or do you have a specific rock?
I
rock
just
type?
take what I can get. I'm not too picky about my rocks.
So it's more the vicinity of the rock, the logistics of getting to the rock than the rock itself.
You don't want to use a Dwayne one, but you want to use a one that you can actually hit stuff with. Yeah.
I mean, one could argue you could hit something with the Dwayne one, and it wouldn't be a problem. Or at least
if you can pick them up, then you can do whatever you want with them, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just physics. Yeah, no.
But, there's a lot to love in this blaster, at least personally.
I
won't speak for anyone else, but this is my first master key integration.
Interesting.
I've never done that before. I mean, with Star, there was a single Panther, but that was internal. This is a more external.
Gotcha.
How it's mounted.
Gotcha.
I mean, just
well,
with your skill. Yeah, I mean, with your skill set, I'm just looking at it. It's like, no. You've done millions of master keys because look how it's just too clean, and yeah, it's just phenomenal. And
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even notice the master key until right now. I'm just like, no, that's just the front part of the blaster with like a front foregrip, and then you mention it, and I'm going through the picture, like, no, that's a master key, and it's just like it's just there, and it's so part of the blaster you don't even notice it.
So
yeah,
the way
I should have noticed it from this
made,
picture I just threw up on screen, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I think in the final overview video that I did on my channel, I think I did a firing demo of it. But anyways, I'm about 6 feet tall, and I have a 8 foot wide wingspan or so. So, the addition of the Zeus stock, it gives you like 4 to 5 inches more length in the Raven, which the Raven is so amazing, except for how small the stock is and how it's shaped. So when you cut the problem off entirely and add more amazingness to the back, it just makes it so much more holdable. And the way that the grip is, the front pump grip, it's right where I want to put my hand on the Raven, which is just further forward, because the way you have to grip a Raven is you have to go full ham on the front of it, or you kind of have to cup it around your trigger finger. It's very weird, but once you remove the entirety of that problem, it becomes a very comfortable blaster.
Nice.
Well, that's good because it's a very well balanced blaster aesthetically. I mean, it's not up front, not too much in the back. It's just it's
That's
it's
what I
solid
try
looking,
and
but it's
go
still
for.
lean looking and aggressive and everything. And yeah, so if it gets to be comfortable as a result, then all the better.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. I try to make my stuff look like it was manufactured from another universe. Um, Hence why there's a lot of like very factory looking, but also very beat and custom.
Mm-hmm.
With all
Yeah,
the
it
wrapping of
looks
the tape on the
used,
magazine and the handle.
which you know,
Oh
like
yeah.
you'd actually use it in whatever universe you would have it in. Actually, I have your
So
video.
I could
So
go. Yeah, you can play some of that. It is a longer video, but yeah, go for it.
I'll play in the background as we chat a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay. There is a little bit of lore with this guy. It was, uh, basically in a spatial universe where you're hopping between planets. There was one planet that was taken over by a different kind of alien type creature, and these two weapons. There's two that are, um, in this line, and I have the other one, Banshee, which is my Raven Rapid Strike. I don't know if any of you seen it, but it's in the same line of. This was a fire-based planet, so it's everything on there is totally ashy. Um, so you can't really get in there without having special armor and a special gun. And they're
Hmm.
so hard to produce that once someone dies on that planet, they have a rescue team come back not for the people but for the weapons. So this weapon has seen a lot of battle, and a lot of smoke on it. Every time they get it, they just kind of lightly wipe it. Hence why there's
Yeah.
just deep corners of like gunk in there
Yeah.
and a lot of scratching because they just can't afford to fix it or replace it entirely. So they just have to bring it back, clean it up a little bit, do some light service, and then give it back to people that are dead meat that can go out there and
The
try
next
and defeat
conscript.
and take back that planet. Yeah,
Very Warhammer 40K vibes of just here you go, here's your weapon.
I've been playing
Good
a lot of
luck.
Helldivers recently, so this helped with
Helldiver,
the
yeah.
lore.
Liberty. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's such a. And what do you know what you're hitting with it? We're having the fire and
I
video on
have.
screen.
I do want to say that it does not have fans. I mistyped in the email. It's fangs. For some reason, my phone
Oh,
auto typed it to fans.
okay. I'll
But
remove that question I was going to ask you. Where are the fans?
there are none. But
We'll just do this live. Sporting fans. Because I
Sporting
first read it as
fans.
sports fans, and I'm like, why sports fans? I'm not going to
Welcome, sports
question you.
fans.
That's
Calm
an
down there,
amazing
sports
blaster.
fans.
Sporting fangs. Yeah. There we go.
But internally, it has a open flywheel project cage that I recycled out of another Raven build that someone had done. That was done very poorly, but I was able to save the cage because I'm cheap and don't want to buy a new
Nice.
cage. So I don't know the millimeter spacing. I believe it has Inferno wheels, and I know it has Fang revamps, so it's a 2S build.
Mhm.
I want to say that it hits 120s. I haven't chronoed it
Nice.
yet. I do have a chrono, but I've just been
That's
too
solid.
lazy.
I get you. I mean, it's an amazing
When you remove
blaster.
the magazine-
As long as it fires, that's all that matters. But yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I wired it so when you... No, it's not when you remove the magazine. It's when you open the jam door, there's a little switch in there that turns on the voltmeter, I want to say, and then the switch on the
Oh,
side
that's
turns on
cool.
the quote-unquote laser, the LED that I threw in the weird cylinder piece on the front muzzle.
Cool.
Okay. That's awesome. So you just flick open the jam door to get the voltmeter out.
It's kind of two-step. You have to flip it open, then there's a two-stage switch that you have to pull. It's the
Okay.
same switch from a recon light. They just turn
Ah.
on and off.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't need the voltmeter on
fits
all the
in there
time.
very well.
So
Yeah, you just I don't like it when people wire them to rev because you don't get an accurate voltage testing and you have to make noise to look at it. It's just very inconvenient. So I try and wire them so either you take out the magazine, you open the jam door, you hit a secondary switch or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in my field, wiring is very easy. This took me like one night to do. It was very, very simple.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah, I know
I'm an
a
electrician
lot of
by
people are
trade,
always.
so I kind of understand how this
Oh,
works.
yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that's always a big thing I would find in the hobby is a lot of people are afraid of flywheel blasters. I'm like, they're not going to bite you. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just don't
Just don't stick your
lick the
finger.
connection. Yeah,
Don't stick your finger in the flywheels and don't solder with the battery connected, and you'll be fine.
yeah.
Don't
And
eat
it's
the
like
soldering iron.
don't eat the soldering iron, especially if you have lead soldering. Use proper ventilation. But there is some trial and error. Also, human skin is very well insulated, so if you do mess up, you're more than likely going to be fine. But that is not
Yeah.
proper advice, and do not follow that. MergeMaster is not responsible for any injury involving lipoblasters.
My
Anyway,
advice is don't die.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do,
Solid.
You're not ready
you
to
didn't
die,
follow my
okay.
advice. Yeah, you gotta be not ready to die, that's the name of the blaster. So it's all good. Gotta hang in there.
To add to the name, one of the departing soldiers was a heavy metal fan. That Rated I is a song done by Avenged Sevenfold. It's a very good song.
It is.
One of my
It
favorites.
is.
But just edged
Yeah.
on there because I'm cool, I'm not gonna die. Ends up
Yeah.
dying.
Well,
Yeah. It's usually, and then the guy's hand is still holding on to the blaster, and just the rest of them's gone.
I was gonna put the Avenged Sevenfold bat on the front of it, but the time limit that I had, I couldn't get it printed in time to put it on there, and I didn't have the painting skills to do it by hand. So that won't ever happen, but it's in there by heart.
Yeah, it's in there. You feel it. It's in there. So it's in there.
It's in there.
Yeah. No, it's an amazing blaster. I'm glad that you're sticking with it. And yeah, sometimes you just need a break. And yeah, sometimes you're not maybe not in the best headspace, but the work you do is phenomenal. It is just
Thank you.
ridiculously good, and you should be proud of yourself. And make sure you get those dopamine hits when you finish that blaster, because you deserve it. And I'm just looking at this. I have a lot of them. I'm making a MergeMasters wallpaper for just myself, because all the blasters I made just make me so happy. So they're just there. And then, your guys' blasters is making me happy, because I'm just like, that's just my background on my computer now, is all the completed blasters, because they're just so awesome. And yeah. But last
Seeing how it's done, you should try it.
Yeah,
It's pretty fun.
I'm buying stuff to do an integration. I haven't done an integration since 10 years. I'm old.
It's
and
time.
it's time. It's time. The last thing I did, I was duct tape and bolted together. So I gotta live up to your guys' skill. Exactly. But Nathan, any other questions you want to ask Grim Reaper?
Nah, I think we're pretty good. I think you just pretty much covered everything. Covered the lore, did a little build up, or discussion on the build up and everything. It's just an incredibly cohesive, well balanced. It's just good. It's just everything about it is good.
Part
And
of your
I
balanced
feel-
breakfast.
Yeah, I feel like if I start talking about it, it's gonna be like 9:30 before we're done.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to
It's
save
fine.
this for like another special feature or something like that. But
I'd
it's
be
just-
happy to come on the channel and talk about it again anytime.
Careful, he might hold you to that, and then it's like
I wouldn't
5
be
hours
opposed to it.
later.
I'm actually, as we're going along, it's like with looking at vials and stuff, and it's like, well, it'd be cool to have that back on and do a feature. Maybe what we got to do in the future, like between events, is just when we see really cool builds, just be like, hey, we're gonna talk to you. We're gonna talk about this build. Use that as like a little interview thing to discuss, the modder and what they're doing and all that, and then discuss the build and go from there. So we may be doing more of these kind of in the interim between events, just doing little spotlights and features and stuff, which I've considered doing in the past. Kind of like Jay Nerf used to do this little meet your modder or know your modder. What was it? He'd bring people in and talk to them. We might do something like that.
Break into their house
on.
at like 3 a.m, kick down the door. Tell us about your awesome blast.
Show me your thing.
Show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
But yeah. So any final vote for me?
I'd
Type stuff.
say, all I'd say is if you're wanting to take an integration on, just know that you might make mistakes. That's what it's all about, making mistakes, learn from them. I definitely learned a lot from this blaster that I'll probably never make one again because they kind of suck to make.
And vote for
Thank you
Grim.
guys for having me on. It's
No, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's appreciated. Vote for Grim.
good luck
Awesome
with the competition,
blaster.
everyone, and I've loved to see the competition that's out there, and everyone's been making really cool stuff. I've been keeping my eye out and saving pictures.
Oh yeah,
Good deal.
no, there's a lot of
Getting
good things.
ideas.
All right, I'm gonna
Oh,
kick you
yeah.
out. We're gonna move on to the next one.
Have a good night and good
See
luck.
ya.
Later. All right, yeah, it's such an amazing blaster.
Very impressive.
Ah,
So we
all
got
right,
Prickly's
so-
up next, but we got
Prickly's
Taryn
up.
getting Taryn's getting kind of chomping at the bit a little bit.
Yeah, Taryn, are you time constraint? Because we can bump you up if you need a bit of a chomp.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
just-
There's been a bit of a theme with some comments of things, and so I mean I know it kind of screws things up on your end where you kind of have to juggle your scenes around and stuff. But if
Oh my
I would sooner-
scenes.
I would sooner inconvenience you a little bit and be able to have our guests on than to kind of give our guests a raw deal and make it easier for you. No offense. I mean, I would still feel
get you.
terrible, but I would feel terribler
I get
Um,
you. I get you.
if Taryn's got a hot date waiting in the car or something like that.
Oh,
and-
yeah,
and
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to-
I mean, this is how you impress them. Look at the blaster I made.
I'm on TV.
Yeah, I'm on to exactly.
I'm on the YouTube.
Yep.
Help me up, please.
All right, Taryn wants a bump up. Okay, so we will.
Fine.
Yeah, we'll
we need to
skip
have like
ahead really-
transition music or anything, or a little intermission while you get your crap sorted out, or
I just need like
Can you work on the fly?
Three. I have been working on the fly. I am the fly. Give me 2 seconds and yes. Okay.
swords.
Yep.
All right. Let me
So
wait for my thing to load here. Oh, I don't want that one. I want this
Good.
one.
All good.
Spreadsheet. All right. Dragging me in.
All right, Dragon Terran in. Bam. Terran
Hello.
is in. Hello.
Hi. Let me full screen this real quick.
All good.
How do I do that? Let's see. There we go. That's good enough.
Cool.
You gotta fix that waiting room, man.
I mean,
Well,
the
that-
smell is.
Were you in the
smell's
wobbly
just
chair?
burnt I mean, that
Well,
was
it's-
old deploys at one point. So
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just weird that you got that chandelier, but you have that so deep couch in there. Really uncomfortable sitting there all day. Yeah.
yeah.
And the magazines we do have are about 6 years old, but we're working on a budget still.
They're-
I mean, it'll
they're
get
all
better.
old
Next year
six
will be better.
bags.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Nah.
explain this blaster that we're looking at. That's probably confusing a lot of new viewers.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, where's the
This
handle?
is a-
Where's
Oh,
the
yeah.
barrel?
Where's the handle? Where's the barrel? I've been getting asked that ever since I started this, basically, when I showed it off. This is actually Akudama. The name actually just means villain in Japanese, but if you separate it into Aku and Dame or Dama, you actually get like a hopeless being. So I thought it was really funny because I took a bunch of blasters and basically turned them into a sword. So it basically makes them hopeless, obsolete, sort of thing.
Well, cool. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of a nice little bonus where the name isn't just cool sounding, but also appropriate.
Oh yeah. So what
Right.
were all the blasters you ended up using?
Oh, I was just going through a parts bin. So I used a Vulcan barrel for the side panels, cut them up, and used them on the handle to make the handguard Suba area, and also that yellow piece on it. Long strike, I wound up using the entire thing.
Yeah, it's kind of dragged all the way through front to back, so that's actually kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Yeah, so for the long strike, I used it mainly. The stock was the handle and a little bit of the grip, and then the body itself. If you go all the way down to the bottom, I used it right at the end. I didn't wind up using the Alpha Trooper. That is, do you not
What is
have
it?
the other work in progress photo? That
Oh, we're
one,
going.
yeah,
This
Yeah,
one.
we just had a little bit of a gap.
yeah. So right there, you can see the
Yeah.
long strike. I also used the panels for the mag holders to
Okay.
actually carry where the blade goes into, right under the Zeus,
Ah.
Mm.
and that is on both sides. I also used a bunch of Retaliator stocks. I think 2 of them. Wound up using a lot of them. I used not an Alpha Trooper, an Atlas pump grip right on top of the Liberator pump grip. I have
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, okay. I see it.
yeah,
Right on.
and then on top of that to carry that is more of the Retaliator stock. I also think I used the rail right there, right above the trigger from the Atlas as well.
Okay.
There's more Vulcan bits just for paneling to seal off where the trigger is and everything. I also had parts of the Raider pump grip that was just in my bin. So I used that to carry on and basically segment where your hands go. So your hands
Yeah.
just groove into it very ergonomically.
Cool. I do have to ask how comfortable or how accommodating is both the sword handle and the effective blaster grip area? As
Well, that's the cool thing about it. Basically, since this is just hooked on your hip, you just rest your hand there and then your thumb actuates the trigger itself.
okay.
Kind of showing it there, but it's kind of hard to do just with your left hand. And then you basically take it like a water hose where you put your thumb over the nozzle.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just.
Cool. So it has like a little hip attachment or something. So you just kind of almost like a frog, like a sword frog, more or less, or is it like more like a single point attachment that goes to your hip?
Okay, so here's the funny thing. I have a bunch of different ways to attach this. So one is with belts going around where the magazine is, right over the rail, and then in the back, so I can wear it off my back, and that just makes drawing the sword a little bit easier. There's That's based on a bunch of video games and stuff, which is kind of where this came from. And then I'm working on, but I had time constraints basically, getting one of those camera rig arms, basically 3D printed, so it can swing out just like in the video game that this is based off of, where the character Jetstream Sam has his sword on his hip, and since the blade is so long, he has to basically detach it from his hip just to get the extra length to pull it out. It's kind of cool. So I wanted that, and so I got that 3D printing, but sadly I can't do 3D printing for the competition as much because it defeats the spirit of the game.
A little
I mean,
bit's
something
okay,
like
but
that
yeah.
could be an accommodation. But no, that's
Yeah, no, that's great. So yeah, so it's based off Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, because as soon as you said Jetstream Sam, I'm like, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, I see it, I see it. So no, that's
Yeah, so
it is. So did you want to do? Because I know Mr. Nathan talked with me at the beginning. He's like, someone just messaged asking if they could do a sword. Which my response was hell yeah, but and it was just like, so was that how'd that thought process go? Of did you wake up one day and like I'll make a sword blaster, or how did that go?
oh yeah, it was pretty close to that. Basically what happened was I started out going, oh, I like the pain core jackhammer, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get parts for a shotgun cylinder for the Mega Cyclone Shock. And then that, I was like, that's going to be cool and all, but I don't think that'll stand out in the competition. So I started going back through. I have this long list of props and stuff I want to make. So I went through that and I was like, oh yeah, I want to make Jetstream Sam's sword gun thing. So rather than just 3D printing one to sit on my wall, I was like, all right, this competition's the opportunity to make something that no one else would ever dream of doing, especially in 3 months.
Well, no
Not only
wise
did you
person or
dream
no
of doing,
reasonable person.
reasonable people are boring, but
Fair.
you not only did you dream it and you planned it out, you executed it, and it is phenomenal. It is a very beautiful blaster.
Thank you.
And
It's no, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna gush a little bit more, and then I love the acrylic, like just acrylic blades always have a weird place in my heart for when I LARPed.
Oh, that
And
was a pain in the butt to do.
yeah. Oh no, they're awful. But I could I could respect the making of it. Would I ever make it? No. But the the amount of work that goes into it. Oh, it's just so good.
Dye it. I had to sand on a Hamon line. I had to do all this, basically looking up, learning right as the competition was coming up. Everything that I wanted to do on this, pretty much at the drop of the hat.
Okay.
So I have like a weird compendium of weird techniques to like do painting. So there's like salt masking and water masking for the droplets, to actually get the weird gradient thing around the AK AR-15 looking bit.
Interesting.
So that's actually not hammered. It's just I took water droplets and spritzed on spray paint over it.
Okay. Ooh. Nice. And
And
so
so
you basically went like, internet, I need to know how to do this. And then you
yes.
let the internet fill you with knowledge. And you're able to like, so this is your first time doing, it's not like something that you've done before.
Yes and no. I've glued blasters together, but not to this level. I mean, I just lived in this project. Exiled's advice that he gave me years and years ago about, oh no, blaster shells are stupid. You shouldn't put parts and parts together. You should just be going for shapes that look cool and put them in where you want them. So that's kind of how the Liberator parts came to be, because I was literally holding a picture of Jetstream Sam's sword in a Goodwill, and just going, okay, what piece looks like the trigger guard? Oh wow, the Liberator looks great, and then I can put pieces together and slide a sword through that. That would work phenomenal. And so it slowly grew into this. I don't know if it came from heaven or hell, but it's mine.
Some form of madness. Possibly Cthulhu or something infected you, you know. Something happened. But so you went hunting. You went like, I have this vision. And then you just went out there, and then the people at Goodwill are like, well, there's Taryn again going, you know, looking at his phone, looking at the blaster wall, looking at his phone, looking at the blaster wall.
Weird look in his eye.
He's fine, yeah.
Oh, that's absolutely how it goes. You're standing in basically where they have this toy section. There's a toddler with a rough cut in his hands, and you take it out of his hands, and he's crying, and you look at it, and you hold it upside down, and you go, will this piece work for anything? Yeah. No. Here you go, lad. That's yours. And then you walk away to the next.
Exactly. 100%.
Leaving behind a trail of crying children.
Yeah, it was almost like it's the same toddler in every Goodwill. Like it's not an actual person. It's like an entity that just always exists within Goodwill.
Oh yeah, and they always have like that jacket on, like year round. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, slightly see through. You know, the like they're a little shimmering, and you're not sure if they're corporeal. You know, wow,
what
corporeal? Wow, I can't talk.
Corporeal.
Thank you.
Corporeal, yeah.
About
You're not sure if they're incorporated.
Yeah, are they incorporated? Are you part of an LLC? Tell me, small toddler.
Right.
But yes,
What other weird features do I have going on this?
you got the you
Take
did
your pick.
the dice thing. So is the dice thing significant, or is it just something that you're like, oh no, that's cool. I want to add that.
Yes to both. Basically going through, like I said, my list of video games and anime props that I want to make. So from Samurai Champloo and Sekiro, the video game, they have like blade charms and stuff. So the dice, the skull, and then the tassel that I had to learn macrame for um, are all from Samurai Champloo. What's her name? Fu. Her little knife that she has
Oh
those same blade
yeah,
charms. Right. I didn't
yeah.
get a chogi piece for the king like I wanted to, based on a character from No More Heroes. So I settled for Sekiro with the
Hmm.
spirit beads, where
Hmm.
if you kill or defeat one of the headless ghosts, you would get prayer beads, and they're kind of see-through. Sadly, I couldn't get see-through ones in
Hmm.
time because I just had those wooden ones. Actually, from my job that I do, I actually make props and costume pieces for like people's cosplays and stuff, and print and sell
Oh
stuff.
damn. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, so you're the cosplay dude. You make this, and have you been commissioned to make blaster pieces before?
To make blaster pieces before, yes and no. So usually the parts are people would come up to me and ask, "Hey, do you have this weird part that I need for right here?" And I go, "How much leniency do you have in my trust of my abilities?" And then
Yeah.
they go, "Oh, I trust you'll make something cool." And so I actually made a Oni Hanya style mask strife cover before. I think I showed it
Oh,
in this server months and months ago. Um, but yeah, I just make little trinkets and stuff
nice.
and
I mean,
whatever they want.
now when you go, how much trust do you have in me? Just show him this. Show him your sword. You just go, no, I made
Oh,
this. Trust me, bro. Trust me.
oh, I used to do that at cons all the time. When I was doing really, really weird builds, with magwells sticking out the top at like 45-degree angles, like the Burton LMR. I'm
Hmm.
making a giant shotgun with two rapid strikes stacked on top, and then a Roto Fury on the bottom.
Oh wow.
Ah,
Yeah, and then that's where the Atlas piece is to kind of shield over the two rapid strikes. So that's where the Atlas pump grip comes from.
okay.
Ah,
Cool.
Yeah, I
crazy,
just
crazy.
remembered where it came from for my parts bin because I couldn't remember why I had an Atlas.
The parts bin always multiplies. You go, no,
Yeah.
I never bought that, no, but it's just there. All of a sudden, it's like, well, it could work.
Along with all
Oh
So
the
yeah.
crossfires,
I
apparently.
am curious. Are you going to try to use this in just like the blaster portion in some sort of war, or is this going to be purely a kind of a wall piece or
So
prop piece?
not necessarily for a war, but I do know on stage and stuff that people like when you have props that function somewhat.
Hmm.
So the sword is sound. The trigger, I have to shave off a little bit of the wire that links the two triggers inside because it is actually semi-auto.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, the reason why it's semi-auto is because the Star Wars blaster that I shaved the pieces down and fused over to make the flat piece to look like an AR-15.
Hmm.
Because Jetstream Sam's sword is that has that piece.
Hmm.
So it's so thin that even the dancer arm, like the mechanism that Strife has, you can't even fit a screw to hold the top pieces together.
Oh, geez.
So
Okay.
no way to fit any sort of automatic
Oh.
operation mech in there.
Gotcha.
I get you.
Yeah,
Still,
that's a
semi-auto's
really
not
skinny
bad.
shell. So
Yeah. Do the thing. I know it's not his theme, but I have the I am the storm that which approaches just kind of
Oh,
playing
yeah.
in my head as soon as you pointed it out. That's just happening on loop, and that's gonna live there for a little bit, probably for the rest of the
Oh, I
night.
have
So
Rules of Nature was playing in my head the whole time when I was making this thing.
rules of nature. Yeah.
So
Ah,
I
nah.
completely understand.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining. I've just wanted to make sure I stated it because, yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
and
Oh, you're
you
welcome.
mentioned, yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'm thanking you either, but it's between the two. But so I know I asked, I think I asked on Discord or at some, maybe one of the previous ones. Did you ever adding any lining to the kind of the sheath part itself for the acrylic, or is it just plastic? It's just is it just plastic on plastic?
Oh, you asked this forever ago, and I
Yeah.
said if I planned out way more in advance and had more than 3 months, I would definitely put some velvet sort of stuff in there, like the more European style swords. Sadly, I only had 3 months to do this, so
Mm.
it's bare plastic on bare plastic.
Fair,
So you just
fair,
gotta be
and
pretty careful.
yeah, I imagine.
It makes the cool snick sound, so it's worth it.
Ooh. So in fact, it's Mr. Nathan's fault that it is plastic on plastic, but it's also Mr. Nathan's fault that it makes an awesome sound effect every time you draw your sword.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Mr. Nathan's fault for everything in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
He's the reason this thing happened.
You know what? I'll take the blame
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll own up to it.
It is a phenomenal blaster, and I want to see more swords in the future. And yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any
just more unconventional builds, just stuff where, like when you messaged me and said, "Hey, can I make a sword?" and I just kind of sat back in my chair for a minute and went, "What?" And
Yes.
so thank you for bringing that up, because I'm happy to see it exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you gave me 6 to 8 months, I would have a Godslayer sword from that video
Ooh.
game, and it has a
Ooh.
Gatling gun inside.
Well, tell you what. There's probably going to be 6 to 8 months, but until the next one, so you could build that in the meantime.
Build
Because
it.
then
I
you'll
want
have
to
to
see
get the
it.
project. You'll have to get the project finished before the next competition starts, so so that way you have time to build that one. So
I want to see the Nerf Godslayer sword. I want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
But any final questions, Mr. Nathan?
I think we're pretty good. I think you asked about everything we need to ask. It's
Cool,
and
cool.
what you didn't ask, it kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
A very
So
impressive and very unique and unconventional build.
any final words, Taryn? You want to vote for me, a little
absolutely.
something?
Vote for me if you want to see more unconventional stuff. I want to keep this fresh. If there's not a sword in the next one, I'll be very disappointed.
More swords.
More
Yes.
swords, maybe a gauntlet of some kind.
Maybe a gauntlet and a sword. Maybe all the above. There we go.
I can make it work.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Vote for Taryn and wow, I already forgot. Kumadama. I'm a
Akudama.
weeb. I shouldn't have. Akudama. Thank you. Yeah. Akudama. Sword blaster. It's sword blaster. Vote for the sword blaster. But yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry about the stickiness of the waiting room.
Oh yeah. Also, get some like Vogue magazines or something.
Nah, it's all recon. Yeah, recon stripes and deploy manuals from the original run. That's all we have. Yep. So I'm gonna kick you out now, and you have a great night. Thanks for
All
stopping
right.
by.
All right.
Good luck.
Have a great night.
You
Bye.
too. Swords. Swords. I like swords.
Are you weak right now?
I want sword. I love seeing swords in Nerf. We need more swords. So here's the thing. While we were talking with Taryn, I did mess with it a little bit, so it's now much easier. I know we have ginger snaps in the waiting room, but I was gonna say if people are here, we can do everyone that's here first, depending on time, and then we can do everyone who's not here. Because I know there's a handful of people who can't make it.
Yeah, that's actually I was going to bring that up since yeah we've got Ginger Snap sitting. I doubt Prickly's going to be here since he wasn't here last time. We've not seen anything or heard anything from 360i.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was actually going to suggest that. So if you want to switch things around on your end, and we'll pull Ginger Snap in and talk about the Buzzkill.
Yeah, if Ginger Snap's cool with that, it's up to you. I see you're in the channel.
Oh, we know him well enough. We don't have to ask. We just drag him in and start talking.
Let's drag him in. All right, so we're gonna switch over to Ginger Snap's Buzzkill and drag him on in for the second time on MergeMaster Finalists. This time, actually promoting his blaster.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, good. How
Yeah,
are you
so
doing?
this is actually my blaster. I actually was able to make it on time this time.
Oh yeah,
Perfect. So there's a lot going on here. You want to just go nuts and tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so when you first started, or when we started in the beginning of February, I think it was like the first week, it was Grim posted like a work in progress picture, and his blaster was already almost completely done. I was like, holy crap, I'm going to have to step this up, because I was thinking I was going to be good. I was just going to like do like a pistol, a couple of blasters, nothing really big, because I didn't think I should be competing with the big dogs. Because
you were gonna do a pistol, and then you made this.
Yeah, it's kind of a natural flow, something small, nothing too big or gaudy. I want
it's
something
a little correction.
That is something I like about the Buzzkill. It's subtle.
Yeah, don't want it to be too over the top, not too flashy. Something for every season. So that's why we get something this big that needs a steady cam arm to even hold it. So subtle.
And then I'm gonna, now that you mentioned the steady cam arm, I have your little video. Nope, that's the wrong video. This one of the Steadicam of the proof of concept, which just screams aliens vibe to me, and I love that. I love that.
Absolutely. And that's kind of one of the big movies that's always had a huge impact on. In fact, that's what really got me into wanting to get into like prop building and modding and stuff like that. I remember when I was like 8 years old. Like at the end of Aliens, Ripley ends up duct taping the flamethrower to the pulse rifle, and when I would go out and play war with my siblings, I'd be out there. I'd tape two guns together, and to me, it was like the coolest thing in the world. And so that was actually a huge motivation for me to start getting into this hobby. What actually got me into modding blasters was I started doing a post-apocalyptic LARP. And I saw everybody walking around with these unpainted blasters. I'm like, okay, I've got to do something about this. So I just started modding, and that's what got me into this. And one of the big things that always really motivated me was I've always been a huge fan of diesel punk, World War II fighter planes with the bomber art, which you can see in this blaster. I've got the nose art on the ammo can, and that's what really, in fact, that sticker is actually from the 21st bomber group, and I was able to integrate that into the signage because I wanted to look like it came out of, almost like it was a crashed bomber plane and someone had taken the machine gun out of it and decided to like use it as like a man portable heavy machine gun type of deal. And so that's really what spurred it into motion. I just realized Grim and Vile were bringing in their A game, so I was going to have to step it up a notch. And so I've actually had these the Rhino fires for a while, and I knew as soon as I saw the very first Rhino fire when it first came out, I was going to put two of them together, but I just didn't know how at the time. And I I believe it or not, this is actually the very first blaster I've actually wired. I've almost always done springers. I have like 2 other blasters that were actually flywheel, but I either had a friend doing all of the work or like 98% of the wiring work. I just like gave him, a lot of applause and cheerleading in the background as he finished for me, but I would just do all the body work. So this is actually my very first wired blaster I did entirely by myself with no help from anyone else. So
I
did.
read
I
that
watched
in
a lot
the
on.
description. Oh, you go.
Well, yeah, we saw that a lot when you're asking questions in the Discord, which you're just kind of like, I've got this doing this, and I'm asking this to do this, and I'm thinking if it does this and this, it'll be easier. And a lot of people are kind of like, wait, what the heck do you have going on? You have how many?
A
Of
science
what?
experiment.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
for science. Yeah.
I love it. It's like, yeah, this is your first blaster because I read it in the description, and it's just like, no, we're not going to do a simple thing. You're gonna get 2 giant complex blasters that have alternating fire. Each blaster has alternating fire, and then rig it up to. I think he said it was like a motorcycle control switch or something. And
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, if you're for your first thing, if you're not doing rocket science, why not? It's
What are you
Yeah.
doing here?
Yeah, of course. Because it builds character or something. I don't know. Something positive.
something.
Yeah, and it was funny going into it because it's like, okay, I should probably start with something small for my first wired blaster and do that. It's like, I know something really simple, something subtle. I'm going to take 2 Rhino fires and merge them together and to be able to fire by themselves and
Yeah.
everything, because that would be awesome. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I love about your build is it screams simplicity, subtlety. You have this just kind of hidden all of a sudden and just pop it out. No one will see it coming.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
nice and subtle, can be worn with any type of seasonal or fair weather. So, it's good to go.
100%. And did you have okay? I mean, there's so many things I want to ask if you had first. I think because we're on electrical, the motorcycle grip. Is that something that you went that will work, or did you go, I need something that will work, and then you kind of researched and went hunting for it?
A little from column A, a little from column B. It originally what I wanted to do was wire it all to that back grip from the I think that's the rear grip is from the Vulcanator, or not the Vulcanator, the V twin Gatling gun, and I was gonna wire it all to that so it would fire both Rhino fires at the same time, but it was too complicated in my head to do that. And so I'm like, well, what if I was actually going to just have them separately? And then in my head, I started justifying, thinking that would actually make a lot more sense, because then the bottom one, I actually wired the pusher to its own battery, so it has a higher rate of fire rather than the top one. And so they actually, being wired separately, I have more control. I can still fire them both if I wanted, but the bottom one has a higher rate of fire. And
Well, that's cool.
the thing I figured out was that the flywheel motors on the Rhino fires, they're very unique. You can't find them anywhere because they're a dual axle flywheel. And so
I know this is
motors.
hindsight, but that so all you do is look for dual shaft slot car motors for the Rhino Fire.
Yeah.
It's
that
always
would've been convenient a month ago.
hindsight's 20 exactly.
So for next competition, when you take 6 of those and stack them up, then you'll be set to go.
I mean, yeah, because this is a small one. This is a small blaster, so next I always got to be bigger.
Yeah, I didn't want to showboat too much, so I went with something really small this time, know. But yeah, I didn't want to fry the motors. In fact, in the process of me messing around with the wires, I actually broke one of the flywheel motors, and fortunately I actually had 3 Rhino fires, and so I'm officially out of Rhino fires at this point to make this work, because I ended up having to take the guts out of the other one. And when you're afraid of breaking something, you're being all dainty with it and everything. So I ended up once I realized I was going to do the 4 grip, I hated the original grip I had that was made of PVC pipe. It just looked too fake and all that. And then I figure it's like, well, wait a second, why not just use like a motorcycle grip? Because one, it's meant for holding that much weight. It's already wired up and everything. And so
Yeah.
got that, but then I had to figure out how to wire that because it wasn't like your typical switch that has the grounding part on it. So then I had to figure that out, and hey, it ended up working. It actually looks way better than that other grip.
It
Oh, yeah.
looks amazing. It looks amazing on it. Do the right and left indicator switch, does that do anything?
No, not at this time. The wires are still intact because originally what I wanted to do was either put some fans in there just so when you turn them on, it would almost make like a rev up, like a really loud noise, almost like a fighter plane. Or I was going to put some lights in there to try to make it flash when you would actually activate the flywheel, but didn't get that far. And by the end of this build, I was like, oh man, my brain's actually absolutely fried
Yeah.
at this point. I got to take a break.
Hear me out. If you do ever decide to go back to it, you on the left and right ammo cans put a little LED. So you have the indicator, so you can properly tell the people behind you which direction you're going, and you just make sure you signal and everything.
I think I will have to do that just for you because you said that.
Thank you. No, it's appreciated. And in the steady
no.
cam, the steady cam, did you have it or did you go out and get it?
Absolutely not. I did not have it, and it was one of those where I quickly realized this is not going to be the build I want unless it has a freaking Steadicam arm. And I had just gotten done seeing one of Chalo's or Captain Xavier's builds for the smart gun build. I'm like, God, I've got to get this, and went on eBay and paid way too much for it, but
Yeah.
they're not cheap at all. I mean,
No, they're not.
holy crap, they're like $350. I got
Yep.
one for I found one that was cheap, and I'm like, okay, well, that's the only way I'm going to be able to justify this. But yeah, and I had to change out the spring twice because in that video you're showing right now, that's the lowest weight spring. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is cool, but it'll be fine. And so, or no, excuse me, it was the heavier spring that was in there. And I realized the blaster was too light. And so I swapped out the springs. But then when everything was done and I actually had the guts inside the blaster and everything, I'm like, holy crap, this thing is a beast. So then I had to upgrade the spring to the 20K spring. So yeah,
do you know how much the
ridiculously
blaster
heavy.
weighs?
I
Like,
haven't actually weighed it, but with the motors and everything, it's easily over 12 pounds because it needs that 20. The spring that's in there right now is I think it's weighted for 14 to 23 pounds, and it needs it.
Okay.
Like big time.
Man.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, so she's a big girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so one of the big things I know you said you were a little delicate with the blaster and everything. Are you going to use it in a war? I want to see it in a war. I just want to see someone with like a head cam turn the corner and it's just you laying down fire.
Well, I think as soon as you walk
I
out to the
would
field
love
with that, everybody else just walks out. You know what? We're done.
We're done.
Yes. I would love to go to a war and you have that one little 8-year-old kid as very first Nerf war, and he's just got happiness in his eye, and then he comes across me and I just unload and just ruin his day, and it's like, oh man, that's not fun.
Mom, that man tagged me 30 times
in a second.
Yeah, I don't know if I will take it out to a war just because it's one of those that you don't realize until after it's done. I moved the motorcycle grip and where the mounting point for the arm was twice because I was trying to find the right placement for everything. And it's just the handle with the way it sits on there, it's just not a very feasible blaster. I need to completely redesign the actual forward grip so it's actually much easier to wield because it's so close to the arm that it's really hard to swing. So
wait, you're telling me two rhino filers stuck together is unwieldable? It's a little clunky or something?
I know, who would have thought? Never in my mind I would have figured that out. Yeah, it's crazy. I think what it needs is a third one because then it will balance itself out.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then
Or
once
four,
you add
maybe
the
four.
third, once you add the third, you got to think about the fourth because you don't want the third one to be lonely. It works better in pairs and
Yeah, you don't want the
Yeah.
odd one out. You got to work in even numbers. So,
Yeah.
if you got a number for someone with another third, fourth, maybe a fifth Rhino Fire, that would be appreciated.
Well, I think what you have to do at this point is build another one just like what you have, and put a left-handed mount on, so you can just sit there and just kind of freewheel two of them just off your hips.
Yeah. So
Oh,
a mech.
God,
You
yeah.
you want them to make a mech is what you're saying, which I am all for.
I'm not saying not to.
I mean, yeah, everybody's got to have a dream. I mean,
Yeah.
who hasn't thought about being in a mech warrior at least once? Why not?
I'm not raising my
That's
hand.
what every grown up wants to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I mean,
you
what's
already
the
got like
point
the
in growing
control
up and
system.
having dispose? Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the
exactly.
point in growing up and having disposable income if you can't build yourself a mech warrior?
Yeah, 100%. That was just something that they taught you that in high school. So it's just
Yeah, it was like in science or civics or something. I don't know. I forget. It's not important.
Yeah.
But what's important is the mech warrior.
exactly. And so the ammo cover boxes. How
Mhm.
did you make them? Did you build them, or did you get like? Because I know they're just covering the drum mags, but
Mhm.
I'm just
Yeah, so the drum mags were just the standard ones that came with the rhinos. I had to trim them down a little bit so they could actually go together because the rhinos are a little so close together that I actually had to trim off one of the screw ports on the side of them to make them fit. But those ammo cans I fabricated out of it's called Sintra. It has another name. I think it's compressed polystyrene or something like that, but it's Sintra plastic. And so I just cut it out. My sister-in-law recently gave me one of those Cricket Joy decal makers, whatever. And so I printed off the official ammo can markings and all that stuff, threw it on there, and called it a day. So yeah, I figured it would look better than just the drum mag. So
yeah, they look phenomenal. It's it's one of those things of you're looking at this blaster and it's just like no, that was always meant to be there. It was always just part of it. And I mean, granted, if you can look past just the quad barrel staring you dead in the face, but it just goes so well. So do they just sit on the barrels, or did you kind of adhere them to it,
so
or not
I
the barrels,
wanted
the
to, I
drums?
was going to just adhere him to that because I figured it'd be easier, but I was kind of concerned how well I'd be able to load the drum mags without having access to the winding gear on the back of the drum. And so what I ended up doing is putting some EVA floor foam on the inside so they're kind of friction fit. But to make them extra sit in the final pictures, I actually have a screw on the top and the bottom to just really pressure fit it in there so it won't come out. So they do come on and off relatively easily.
Okay. Damn. So you kind of like, yeah, you actually put a lot more thought into it than I originally thought. You just kind of either fit them in, but no, you went above and beyond with that.
Well, I
That's
mean,
good
I wouldn't say
forethought.
I put a lot of
Yeah.
thought into it. And I mean, my work ethic style on these blasters is more like a monkey with a hammer. But I mean, sure, I'll take that. Why not? Yeah,
Came
it was
out
very
well.
well thought out.
And we do actually have a question in chat. Vile Mobs.
Yeah.
I know you explained it before. If you don't mind explaining again, the Buzzkill logo.
Yeah, so it was funny because when I sent my final pictures to you guys, I had completely forgot that I had already named the blaster and sent you these pictures with its name. I'm like, yeah, its name is Burt Reynolds. Why not? And then I realized, like, oh, Buzzkill, duh. That's the entire purpose of why I wanted to do the ammo cans was so I could do that Buzzkill logo. And so, yeah, so all it was painted on there. The only thing I didn't paint was the actual B and stuff. That was actually a vinyl sticker I got off Amazon, and it was for the 21st Bomber Group, an actual patch from World War II. And so I just trimmed it out, and I did all the background, the blue with the trim and the lettering and all that stuff, and then I just placed the vinyl sticker on top of there. And I think this is like the third build I've done now where I've done like the classic bomber nose art type of deal on it, and it's kind of quickly becoming my jam. I kind of want to do every one of my builds with that now.
I
Nice.
mean, it looks amazing. It's like
Thank
you
you.
kind of you found your thing, and it was just you basically have the anti. So you have and people are saying it's anti-aircraft gun. I'd almost just say it's just anti-everything.
It's
But
just the
Yeah.
anti.
Yeah. Let's go with that. Anti-everything.
So I mean, next is like I mean, you could be the first one to really create the Nerf nuke or something.
I mean, I've got some free time coming up in the summer.
Well, I was going to say, what is the next step after this?
Oh man, gosh, I don't know because I'm out of I'm out of rhino fires. I've used them all in this build. Something I've been wanting to do. I've got a couple of Prometheuses that have just been begging for some attention. Now that I actually know how to do wiring now, and I actually got a Steadicam arm, I'm almost thinking about merging two of those. But that might just be a little too small. So I was almost thinking about taking all the Nerf tennis ball launchers I got and just making a massive artillery cannon out of it because reasons.
Yeah, because why not? It's not on the Steadicam. It's actually like a ground-mounted platform at that point, right? It just
Yeah,
you just
something
roll it
big enough,
onto
it's
the
gotta be towed.
Nerf war. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually participate in the Nerf war. I just sit in the back, load them all, fire them all. I was like, okay, I'm spent. Good luck.
Yeah. It's just the other. Everyone's just looking up. What's that? Because I mean, you're not going to really be able to aim it well. So friendly fire is
gets so
going to
dark?
happen.
Yeah, friendly fire. I mean, it can be friendly. Sometimes it's not, but it's fire.
You force them to fight in the shade, and it's all good.
Exactly. See, if anything, I'm being considerate if I do that. Because why not?
Yeah. Let's cool it down. But like honestly, if you have any issues with electrical or you want any help with electrical, always feel free to message me on the MergeMasters Discord. I'm more than happy to help. I can do very crappy diagrams, as Mr. Nathan has attested to, where I literally
that
just
one was
bring
actually pretty impressive. So I was.
I bring up MS Paint and I just go, this connects to this connects to this, and this connects to this.
It's good to know someone else uses MS Paint for their detailed schematics.
Oh no, it is the best detailed schematics.
Oh, truly, yeah. People who use Photoshop, they don't know what they're missing out. It's all about the MS Paint.
And you don't do the line tool, you do the paintbrush, and it's all jagged and jiggly, and it's fine.
Yeah. Give her some curves,
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, I actually appreciated the group chat because I know I asked a ton of questions in there, and I was always quick to get a response from everyone, even if how I wrote it made people question my sanity and my literacy. But they still answered, if out of anything, pity or sympathy, but they answered. Like, who gave the 8-year-old Discord?
Yeah, the 8-year-old just built an anti-aircraft cannon. Don't worry about it. He's fine.
Yeah,
he's doing a good thing. Yeah.
Well, and it's the cool thing about having the competition kind of operating in conjunction with the Discord is that you get somebody who's like, you're competing against this guy, but they're like, hey, I need help with, and then explains this really bizarre thing, and it's like, okay, I want to see this, and so I'm going to help this guy because I want to know what the heck is going on here, as opposed to like, oh, I don't want this guy to win, I'm not going to help. It's the genuine curiosity of, okay, I want this to happen. Yeah, let's make this happen. So that's kind of the.
Why not, right? Why not?
So not really the spirit of competition that I guess most communities and genres of hobbies handle, but no, I kind of like that aspect, and I'm glad you were able to, I guess, feel comfortable asking the hard questions that a lot of people might find easy or something like that. So
how do I bring up 2 rhino fires to a motorcycle handle? Like any sane individual will ask.
Because everybody knows we all have experience wiring our blasters to motorcycle handles. That's a common thing.
We had somebody asking that last week. Oh, geez. Don't use the search function, man.
We also need to put that in the little guide on the Discord. Because there is a little guide section. What is it? It's resources guide of how to wire to motorcycle handle. I think that just needs to be a thing. It almost needs to be its own section. Really?
I actually do have my schematic for it. I should probably clean it up in MS Paint, of course.
Yeah.
And actually upload that because it wasn't hard. It was really just figuring out how to wire to a switch that only had 2 connecting ports rather than the 3. And so other than that, it wasn't really all that hard. But I mean, there was a
I
lot
would-
of tears.
Yeah, I mean, but see, you did all the tiers, so that way someone else, your predecessors can advance forward. And yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to throw that up there, that'd be more than that'd be awesome, because I get someone's in the future, someone's gonna look at it, they're just go, oh, I'm not alone, I'm not the only crazy one. We
Yeah,
did this, and it was
misery
all
loves
here.
company.
Well,
Yeah,
and even if they're not in the exact same situation or building the exact same thing, surely they could adapt based on whatever weird thing they're trying to build.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
actually, I think I'm gonna have to do that then this week. I'll have to grab that, clean it up a little bit so it's actually like legible and people can actually understand my chicken scratches.
not just scribbles of a madman. There happens just to be red twine everywhere as well, connecting the thing to other pictures. And
Yeah, it'll just
Yeah.
be a scrap piece of paper with lots of teardrops on it and just the scribbles Y.
I think we all have some of those laying around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more than I should probably admit.
It's all good. But yeah. Any other questions, Mr. Nathan? You wanna?
I think we're good. I think
Okay.
it's a whole lot of blaster,
It is a
but
lot
yet
of blaster.
altogether
Yes,
it doesn't look busy. It doesn't look like together and make. No, it's very very cohesive in its largitude.
Yeah. No, it's smooth. It's like it looks like it's one piece. It looks like it's one piece from some sort of prop movie or something.
Yeah.
And almost like world's ending. Bring out the big guns. type thing. And yeah.
All
Nah.
right.
Well,
Sweet.
Ginger Snap, do you want to give us a vote for me type thing? Any last words?
Last little plug.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone should vote for Prickly Mod's blaster from the other category because that one I also hosted, and it was just really phenomenal work. I'm just saying. No, I guess vote for me. One, because this is my first wiring job, and being this is legit my first attempt at it, I think I really went above and beyond on it, because who doesn't like a motorcycle handle being wired up to their blaster? Why not?
100%.
So yeah, vote for me, or really a vote for any of us is awesome, just because and the competition is good. It's so many great blasters in this. This has seriously been so cool getting to mod with y'all, and yeah, I thank you guys for throwing this thing, for just having a reason to build something so insanely absurd.
Thank you for entering and making this. This is just
Very much.
all the blasters, like, they just put a big old smile on my face. And it's
Awesome.
not absurd, it's subtle.
Yeah, the subtle buzzkill. Subtle.
Buzz.
I should go back in and just scratch that and subtle up there on
Subtle.
top.
All right. Well, we're going to kick you out and move on to the rest of the contestants, but thank you very much.
All right.
Yep. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
on,
thank
and
you.
good luck.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. Anti-aircraft gun and anti-everything. It's just so good. And speaking of prickly,
What?
if we're going to go back to the rest of the list of people who, because I was
kind
prickly.
of afraid as soon as he said, "Oh, prickly," I'm like, "Oh no, he's competing against you in this class. Don't be careful."
Yeah. But yeah, prickly.
Guess
Prickly and 360i are left, and if anyone are in chat that actually want to jump on, please jump in the waiting room. But we're gonna move on to prickly if not, which is gonna go right
I don't think
here.
I've seen any sign. Primate in the chat asks, "Where do we vote?"
Where
we
do
will
vote?
discuss that in just a few minutes after we address these last two entrants. We will actually post the ballot live and explain how that's going to work. So stay tuned.
So we have to move over after doing some things, going back in order. All right.
Still does not have a name for this one that we ever received.
Doesn't have a name. Do we want to? I mean, Prickly is pretty cool. Should we name it for him, or is that just something that we just?
We will just call it Prickly's Gestalt entry.
Prickly's Gestalt entry.
Until told otherwise.
Yep. Well,
It
it's
is a
you go, you go.
oh, I was going to say it's a half-length bullpup rapid strike with the front end of a Thunderhawk, comprising kind of the majority of the aesthetic body. The deploy stock, everything ties together pretty good. Has a nice window on the, you can see.
Oh, you're cutting out there. Just
Oh no!
you went through a tunnel again. It's all good.
Dang it! Sorry,
Yeah.
just trying to make
So
the commute home real quick.
yeah. No,
Almost
no
there.
worries. Yeah, you had deploy stock, and then everything after that
Okay.
went all staticky.
A clear acrylic window cutting along the side where the slot from the Thunderhawk is.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
I
looks
love
like 3
clear
different
windows.
grips to build the grip, the foregrip. Looks like a regular like retaliator type or in-strike grip, but then it's got its little toe cut off, but then there's a rough cut grip on the back that kind of swoops back, but it looks mighty comfortable though.
Oh yeah. No, and it's so it's 9 blasters apparently together: Thunderhawk, Rapid Strike, Raven, Retaliator, Rough Cut, Centurion. The sights from an X-Shot, Long Shot, and a secret use mount point from the Conquest Pro. I don't know why it's a secret, but
Use mount
maybe we'll
point.
ask them later. But yeah,
Just
so
scrolling through the
the
pictures really quick to get context on that because I don't remember
yeah,
seeing that part. Secret use.
I mean that's what it says on the little description that he gave us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll scroll through the pictures as
Alright.
well. But I'm always a big fan of this like little clear windows, and also the Super Soaker charm. That's just which I just realized now is that did he embed a nut into the shell, and that's what the Super Soaker charm's hanging off of?
Unless that's the secret use mount point from the Conquest Pro.
Oh.
Maybe. I actually have a Conquest here in my suitcase for our war next week.
Oh, the
Oh,
old war
stand by.
suitcase.
Holy cow.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking. Okay,
Looking.
guess what? That's what it is. That is the little sling point on the top rear, right above the magwell on the Conquest Pro.
Huh.
And yeah, it just slipped into that little spot up there. Well, sneaky.
Sneaky, very sneaky.
I don't know if
Cool.
that exactly constitutes a 20% for a overall blaster count, but it is a nice little
Yeah. I think it was
little
9
subtle
blasters
detail.
without that.
Oh,
So yeah.
fair enough. I mean, it's
And
still
was
it's
just
well over 6 for sure. So
Yeah.
we're good.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, if you it's going back through it. And it's so it's a bullpup flywheel with, as you mentioned, it has way too many handles to make the front grip, which I'm
But
all
still
for.
works.
Yeah. It does, as you said, it does look comfortable. And it's just
Mhm.
one of those things of, okay, we need to make a front handle. And then, okay, let's just keep shoving
Just
handles into
swoop
it
it around.
until we're happy with it. Yeah, it works.
Well, and I do like the bullpup rapid strike with the deploy stock mounted. I actually have one that I almost built a few times and then ended up using the pieces for other things instead each time. But it is a combination that I've wanted to actually, bring to fruition at some point. But I do like this application of it, especially how the width of the deploy stock kind of works with the extra width of the Thunderhawk body.
100%. Yeah, it looks like it's just like all one piece, which is really nice. Just
Mhm.
smooth from the back to the front, and yeah, it works. It works really well. I mean,
Well, in the paint job has kind of flavors of Frankenzilla to me. Looks like a little kind of sponge
does.
splotchiness
It
or something
does.
like
I
that. So
I didn't even
he's
think about that till right now, but yeah.
So I don't know if that was intentional or if they've been talking or what, but it is kind of a cool, kind of a mottled confetti-looking pattern. But yeah, I like it how it's kind of all
Yeah.
almost camouflagey in its inconsistency, whatever the nice
Yeah.
way of saying that is.
Yeah, it's like freedom camouflage because it's red, white, and blue. So you blend into all the Americans, and you don't see it. It's all good. Yeah, no, and I don't know he never mentions that the front trigger is functional. I think we asked last time, and he commented it somewhere. But
Gonna have to go back and watch my own streams again.
yeah,
Ugh.
or if it was meant for something in the future. But
It seems like that's what it was. Is that there was intentions, but it didn't actually come through. Maybe that's
yeah.
what it was. I'm not speaking with any authority. I'm just only my own broken recollection of things.
Yeah, and if I also remember correctly, who was going to do LEDs in the,
He was in chat. He popped up in the stream chat. That's what it was.
yeah,
And commented about the acrylic panel and stuff like that. Maybe maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, something like that. Or some sort of fever dream that I had where I thought
That's
Prickly was
possible
talking
too. You
to
were
me.
sick a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's half length rapid strike. I think it looks like it's single stage. So I'm guessing like 120
I thought he
FPS.
had some
Or is
pretty
it
impressive
two-stage?
specs on this. I'm going back to the top of the entry there.
I got no specs from Prickly.
Okay, I was thinking of his other one. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
it's nice. It looks, especially the stock, even the D-Play stock surprisingly is comfortable. You never think about it with the sling point attachment, but I've used
it does work.
Yeah, I've used modified deploys with the FTW kits and everything in them, and it's like, no, this is nice. The deploy is terrible, but everything else is nice.
I do like how you. No, go ahead.
Naptown saying it's a dual stage band blaster setup.
Oh, so he's probably pushing like 2.5 at this point, well over 2.
Oh
anyway.
yeah.
I do
At
like
least
how
2.
in the kind of a history in pictures, you can see the initial layout of the blaster, and then that next picture shows where he shortened the magwell down to half length, and so you can tell, got the build started, then maybe the stock felt too long, or maybe he just wanted to go with the more of a competitive level blaster, and so made a few changes and cut that out. It's just cool to see how plans change through the course of these over the course of these little spreadsheet listings.
Do you feel the half lengths are competitive? I personally I think half lengths are just standard now, and it's harder to make a full length dart blaster because it's easier to get half length. But that's also just me, so I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I honestly, I feel like that would be a discussion for another time because I think we could really get off the rails and into the weeds.
Wait, we have rails?
Well, yeah, I just went through a tunnel
off ages ago. Yeah, tunnel. We got vague lines, guidelines.
Something like that.
It's good. And what is the is that like an epoxy?
It looks like DevCon that he's.
Okay, that's a DevCon.
That kind of cream-colored stuff.
Yeah, the weird mucus thing. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a DevCon or another methyl methacrylate type stuff.
Methyl methacrylate. That's a word.
Oh, also Naptown. Hi, how you doing? We kind of breezed right over that. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, we got a few.
Do we pull him into the chat and
in.
have him talk about prickly stuff? Prickly blasters that are all introduced by strangers. How much more do you know about this blaster?
I mean, if someone wants to jump in and talk about Prickly's blaster, I mean, I'm sure Prickly wouldn't mind.
Well,
but yeah, no, otherwise
so.
Yeah.
We'll just give a few minutes, see if Naptown pops up in the waiting room.
Yeah, no worries.
No obligation.
No pressure. It's just But
if you're at like a niece's birthday party or something, then you're hey,
Prickly's mod is here. Prickly's, if you want to jump into the waiting room and talk about your you want to talk about your blaster, we can drag you in.
Yeah, you're in the Discord, right? And if you're not, why the heck not?
No, Prickly's in the Discord. That's how I got his profile picture. See how
that's right.
Prickly mods, because it has a little circle next to it. That means I just pulled it from the Discord.
Little peek behind
we'll
the curtain
see.
there.
Yeah, if you're not able to, or if you're not able to talk, I can always throw a text thing up on screen.
Yeah, that's a trick we just learned that we could do.
Yeah, takes a little bit. You guys saw some of the other channels, the other things I'm in, so hopefully no one recognized any of those, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. And the
Oh,
Oh, there we got a
there he is.
prickly.
All right. Should we go back in time and talk about yesterday's entry instead of having somebody else? I don't know. Ginger Snap covered it pretty good.
Yeah,
We'll find out. Prickly,
with-
how are you, man? Is he muted?
Prickly's no, he's not muted. Prickly's
Okay.
attempting to talk. Oh, the muting function's happening again.
Oh.
The mic might not be
Cold
connected.
feet.
Attempting integrating, modding.
Just made a mistake. Is it too late to back out? Oh no! Now everybody's watching.
Prickly's thinking about it. Nope, muted again. Unmuted.
Okay.
It looks like because your mic's not even registering. It looks like your mic might not be connected, or it's not the mic set up for Discord. So you might want to check your user settings. Going to voice and audio, make sure your input device mic is the correct one. We will see if that's the case. Almost.
Possibly. Oh.
Prickly lit up for a second, but no sound came out. So something was registering your mic.
Oh.
Nope. No,
Oh.
we can't hear.
Looks like he's trying.
We see your face thing talking, but we are getting no audio from you. So something is registering
We're so
your mic.
close.
So close. Hopefully we don't have to resort to smoke signals. That'll be a little
No, the delay on those are crazy.
Yeah.
And I think I'd be closer. No. Yeah, I think I'd be a little bit closer, but we got a breeze, so. Every time I get on Discord, I want to switch my phone to my phone. Weird.
Your microphone, yeah. Yeah, so after you Nope. I see your light lighting up for the voice input, but we're not getting any audio.
Wait a minute. We are having technical issues, but it's not us this time. Oh, that feels good. No offense, Prickly, but this is huge for us. We've not made it through a stream without some kind of huge issue.
This is the thing. It's every stream we do is 5% less technical difficulties. We never said it would be our technical difficulties. So Prickly is just keeping us honest, because if we keep reducing by 5%, it's never going to hit 0. It's just going to be less and less.
Oh, he doesn't want us to talk anymore, apparently.
Oh.
Looked like he just had a mute pop, or not a mute, but a don't talk to me thing.
It's the so the other thing is your mic might be producing sound and it might be registering on Discord, but it might be in your actual Windows setting, and if you're using Mac, I can't help you. But
it's showing up on mine that he's on mobile, so maybe he's having issues there.
Oh, you're on mobile, okay.
Yeah, at least on mine, it's showing a little phone icon next to his face. Oh, darn it.
We can try again. He's probably just relogging and reconnecting.
Oh, we got him there.
Oh, there we go. We're gonna bring him back in.
Okay.
Bring him back in. Almost. Possibly.
Is that working?
Hey!
That's working!
Sweet!
All right.
Yay!
Where's your pause button?
We did it. We did it. All right.
All right. So how are you?
It's great. So we're just going to cut out that other fat. This is don't worry. This only has the perception of being live without actually being live. So.
Oh, we doctor the heck out of this one.
Yeah.
Before it goes live. Sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Wink.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually installing a car radio right now in my new vehicle. That's why I've been a little absent from the streams. But
that's
no
fine.
Doing pretty good though. So
no deal.
As good as you can be.
Yeah.
Nice. When you're upside down under the dash, you mean? Or are you on the top side where it's fun? Doing your
We
wiring.
got the top side. We're on the top side now. We got the underneath stuff done a little earlier when we still had the light. So
Good deal.
Nice. Are you doing the full
Well-
wiring or just the speaker interface or just the audio deck interface? I mean, what?
Oh, you ticked him off.
I don't know what happened. You got jumped to the other channel, but I pulled you back in. Uh-oh.
okay, I think I got it.
Okay.
All right.
We're good. We're back.
Okay, but
100%
as I was
flawless.
saying, no, we 100% flawless, right? But I got I'm on the top side right now. We're just about to plug it in for the first time, and I got a full sub set up with new speakers and radio and everything. So it should be fun.
Well, we'll try to not keep you too long.
Yeah, gonna grill.
But,
we're gonna grill you a little bit about your blaster, which doesn't have a name. So I want to start with that first. What do you call this?
I've been trying to come up with a name for it, and I have no idea on it. I would like some feedback and maybe have a community give a name to it, because I can't come up with a name for it. I've tried everything, but my brain just won't work.
I know how that goes. Well, what you want to tell us about it a little bit? Introduce us first. I mean, to the blaster itself, regardless of name.
So the blaster started out as a rapid strike, and I cut it down for half-length darts, and eventually it started out as a full-length magwell with all the bits and bobs added on, and it really just kept evolving the more I got into it, because I had an idea of how to start the blaster, but I did not know where to finish it. So it just kind of evolved as I was making it, and the more I made it, the more I got into it, and the more I enjoyed it. Until I got it finally finished where it was able to be the 250 FPS beast of a blaster that it is, shooting full auto like 120 feet down my range. Like it's pretty awesome.
The beast.
I love it a lot.
Damn. So it is a 2-stage setup.
Yeah, it's a 2-stage setup from Band Blasters. It has the 42K motors in the front and the 74Ks in the second stage with his wheels. And I think his chronograph testing was like 254, but after I got some dart dust on it, I was getting like 260s.
Ooh,
nice.
So that's pretty good. I took a blaster similar to this to APOC last year, and it did very well. And I actually am meeting somebody later in the month to sell the blaster. Just because of some fund issues and everything. But I want to keep. Yeah. I just bought a crossbow from Hawkeye 007, so I have to get some money back from that. So
fair enough. So you said you had the rapid strike.
Yes, I had all these. I've been thrifting pretty heavily for the last 2-3 years, and I have about 15-20 bins in my garage just full of blasters. It's kind of ridiculous.
Oh wow.
Like I don't have a lot of rapid strikes anymore because I've used like so many of them in the last couple months. But I still have like at least 10 strifes and like rapid reds and all the other Rebel flywheelers and all the Dart Zone flywheeler. I have everything. I pretty much have a blank canvas to start anything I want. I'm just very lazy.
Fair. No, I get that. No, I mean, you say you're very lazy, but then you've entered twice. You made 2 blasters in this competition.
That's true. That is very true. The second one kind of happened on accident because I started it out of like a roadblock in the main project, and I actually just sold the predecessor of that of the second entry, the green one. I sold his predecessor for some project funds. So I wanted to remake that one. And I already did it like 3 or 4 times because I've remade the same integration over the last couple of years, like multiple times. If you've seen my page or anything, you know, I'm pretty obsessed with that integration. So I managed to, I blew through it in about, I think I got all the body work done and everything in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, like all glued together, all the body work done and everything, just because I know where to put the putty, I know where to put the glue, I know where to make the cuts. It's just, it's second nature. So if anybody ever wants one of those, hit me up. So, But no, but then this one was definitely more of a challenge, and it took me a lot longer because I'd never done this type of integration before. Whenever you
Yeah.
do a brand new integration, it's like stepping into a minefield. You can't cut wrong, you can't measure wrong, you have to do everything perfect. And it takes a lot more time to figure everything out rather than something you've done multiple times and that you can just throw together in a couple weeks, you know what I mean? So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
blazing a new trail.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I know there was a couple other people who used the Thunderhawk in this year's integration contest, but I haven't seen it used too much in integrations before this year's contest. So I wanted to challenge myself and use something really big and really monstrous. So it would
And
be
it
a challenge to integrate it in.
and it worked
Which
well. I mean, it looks amazing
yeah,
on
I
that.
know when the Thunderhawk was first leaked, when we first just saw pictures of it, I know I had all kinds of cool ideas of what I wanted to do with that front end. And then when I finally got it to hand, I realized how dang huge the thing is. And it's like,
It's
that
so
limits my options.
monstrously gigantic. It's like you have to, if you don't plan for how big it is, you're gonna fail because it takes over so much space on the blaster.
Yeah, I held it up to all kinds of different stuff in my bins, and it wasn't until I got to the what's the mega thing? I put it on the front of the Warthog. I don't remember what the base blaster's called. Mastodon. Held up to the
Oh,
front of the
yeah, okay.
Mastodon. It took a blaster that huge to actually feel like it scaled well. But I
Yeah,
like
for sure. It's
what you did.
ridiculous.
I like what you did there, where you kind of bulked up the Rapid Strike a little bit with the deploy stock, and then just slid it pretty much just tucked it right inside.
Yeah.
To where
I did notice that whenever I was searching through my bins, I was looking for a blaster similar in width for a stock, and the deploy just came across my lap, and it was perfect. And it just wrapped around the Rapid Strike so perfectly, and everything tucked together. The back end's really nice and clean. The
yeah,
back end's a lot cleaner than the front end, but
Yeah. I mean, it's all very clean. It's
For
it's
sure.
and it works. And so I'm curious because you said it hits about 250 260 FPS. Did you
Yep.
Was that like the design to go have something like a hard hitting blaster to begin with, or was that just kind
Yes,
of like it just fell into place?
I wanted to build something that I could take to a higher FPS game and do well with. I had a blaster similar to my second entry at last year's APOC, and the only thing that really could outcompete me was Eli Wu's momentum. That was like the only thing there
geez.
that could actually,
That's saying
so
something.
like I was pretty happy with myself that my blaster that I made with my hands was able to compete with a $600 blaster. So
Nice.
Yeah.
and if I just wanted to build something like that again because I always that's my favorite type of event. I'll always go to high end FPS events. I love those types.
Uh-huh.
So I always build blasters towards the higher end if I can. If I can
Yeah.
always squeeze the cage in and everything, but
Nah, but it works well. Yeah, no, those blasters are always those type of events are always something else because you're like, no, it's a foam dart. It can't really be that accurate. And then it's like, wait, I just
No,
got
but
I just got hit. I just got wait. The closest person is like stupidly far away. How the hell they hit me again? Whatever.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
I mean, granted,
this one's pretty fun because you can just run into the middle of the field and dump a full, I forget what those mags are called, like
Talon.
the 20 something
Oh.
round, no, the 20 something round out of darts mags, the big
Oh,
black ones.
The Tachis, or those the
yeah.
I think something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I ran into the middle of the field and just dumped that entire thing into their team and got like 3-4 hits and then just hid behind cover like a jerk.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of gameplay I like. I like suppressing people, and I like supporting the team who has more accurate blasters that can snipe and pick people off. I like to be
Yeah.
the suppression guy laying down the fire. That's what I find the most fun.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's a. I mean, I'm going to use air quotes. I'm going to say I'm using air quotes. There's a sniper over there.
Oh,
I'm just gonna go litter them with darts. So many darts.
Exactly. Yep.
No,
And then
it's good.
It's pretty good because it has a Kraken motor in the rear for the pusher, so it empties a
Oh.
15-round power mag in about 2
Nice.
seconds.
That's a good rate
Yeah.
of fire.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So
It's good
how
for
many
suppression for sure.
how many mags would you just run on you? Because it's a mag a second
ran-
almost.
I ran 8 at that game, I ran 8 mags and then a Tachi mag in the blaster, and the first round I ran out of rounds in about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, these will last a while. I'll just
No.
play normally, and then you have to be conservative with something like that.
Yeah.
And
But with that type of darts per second, it's almost just one mag, one kill type thing.
exactly. If you want to guarantee one person out, you can just dump an entire mag on them and just pretty much eliminate them entirely.
Accuracy through volume.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've mostly gone to high power springers in my group, and we just we're knocking on the door of 300 FPS right now. But we've got one guy who's got one of those was it the Phoenix 2.0 or whatever, and I think he has 15 mags that he packs on him, and the dude just zips around to where you're kind of sniping back and forth a little bit, and then he'll just show up and just dump like 6 mags on you, and it's like, oh well, forgot about him. All right,
Yeah.
so it's.
Let me wade through these darts as I go to respawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I end up going to the Maryland games. Those are the closest games around me. So like the Maryland Nerf Herders and the Southern Brisbane House of Nerf and stuff. I go to those. Not Southern Brisbane. That's an old throwback.
Boy, that's a memory flogger.
My bad. I go to their games, and there's a good balance between springers and flywheelers. Because the other persons there like Dart Sweep and Boomstick, who always have the coolest 3D blasters on the market there, and then they have all the newest flywheel blasters by Nerf and all that stuff. They had all the new Nerf Pro X and all that stuff, and it was all pretty cool. I like going to games. I just don't go to enough of them because of how far of a drive it is for me.
I feel you.
So
yeah,
because I'm usually at least 3 hours out from a game.
Oof.
So like it's like a whole day event if I got to go out to a game, and like some days I even have to stay in hotels, and I really don't do too well in hotels. So
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
I pick and choose what I go to, but when I go, I always have a lot of fun, and I love building blasters to go to wars and test them, because then you can really find out if the thing you built is effective or not.
Yeah. Because I mean, you got the firing range. You can test out as much as you want, but actually, like trial by combat's an actual.
Exactly.
The most useful metric.
There's no way around it. You have to do trial by combat.
Yeah, 100%. And so I know we talked a little bit about the Super Soaker charm at one point, but I do have to ask again. Well, actually, no, I have to ask two things now. First, did you sell it with the Super Soaker charm, or is that yours and no one's allowed to touch it?
I haven't sold it yet. I'm talking to a gentleman who wants to buy it at either the Survival Fest event in PA or APOC this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the chain or not. I was thinking I might, because it is a pretty rare chain from what I've heard. Like I heard
Super
you can't
rare.
really find them anywhere. So I might keep it and lower the price by like a couple bucks just to make him happy, but because I kind of want to keep it for future weapon charms, because that is a really cool like little idea from Call of Duty and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like because there's a bunch of
awesome
Nerf keychains, you can just throw them on anything, So you just have to find. And I just got a Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon the other day. I just got that in there.
Nice.
So instead of using the Conquest Pro and cutting the sling point off it and murdering the whole blaster for a single sling point, I can 3D print something.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A little bit more feasible. And I think I asked this too, but I can't remember the answer. I'm zooming onto a picture now of the front. Is that a googly eye?
No, it is not. It's just it does. I see where you're looking at now after all this time. It is just it's just some silver detailing inside of a black dot. That's all it is.
Okay.
But if you want to imagine it as a googly eye, I will completely let you imagine it as a googly eye.
Oh, thank you.
Listeners can see the full legislation on that in, I think that was our second coverage stream, maybe the third.
Yeah.
Where we spent probably like 6 to 8 minutes talking about that.
But now that we actually have Prickly himself in chat, I got to ask,
All right.
I need to know.
While you're on that picture, though, what about that front trigger? I believe we have clarification on that, but I spaced it.
I left that front trigger in case I wanted to add LEDs to the blaster.
Hey, there you go.
Just as a future update or an upgrade, I could do to it in the future if I wanted to. Or if the person whoever buys it next wants to. It's just I wanted to include something for LEDs, even if I wasn't going to do LEDs.
Yeah.
Just
Right
a
on.
little future planning on my part, you know.
Heck yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And so name, I remember you originally said that you you want to community it. Well, you said a phrase that could have been a really good name right when we started talking. It's like I tried everything. I've done everything or something, everything or anything. I lost it. I was gonna pitch it, but now I don't remember what I should have wrote
Well,
it down.
hey, whenever the stream ends, I'll go back and I'll watch the stream again and I'll write it down and I'll put it in the Discord and maybe that could be the name.
Yeah, if you want it as the name.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
might be a good idea because if it is a good one, I'll think about it and I'll
Yeah.
definitely consider it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
I
right now
assume we can
have you-
update the ballot, right?
I can update everything. So
Like after
Okay,
it's
cool.
already opened.
yeah, after it's open. So
Oh,
it was just,
perfect.
for right now, it's just Prickly's Blaster, and as soon as Prickly Nerf Mods Blaster, and then as soon as you get a name, we'll just throw that straight in.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll get thinking on it again and I'll watch the stream to see if that's a good idea. And if not, I'll put a poll up on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or maybe even
Hey.
Discord and see what we can come up with.
There
yeah.
you go.
I mean, you got to be careful with name polls. You might end up something like Bodie McBoatface, which I mean, I'm fine
that's
with.
true.
It just doesn't feel like a Bodie McBoatface to me, you know?
It's not
Blaster
nearly Bodie enough.
McBlaster face.
Oh yeah.
Surely that one's been taken. But yeah, we'll
yeah.
let us know and we'll get that updated as needed.
Definitely.
Sure.
Any other questions, Mr. Nathan? Or Prickly?
No, I think we're pretty good. I mean, we need to let Prickly get back to his
Yep.
audio install project.
I'll just have
Appreciate it,
Prickly.
guys.
Yeah, give me like the final vote for me stuff. Any final words? Vote for me.
I worked real hard on it. Vote for me.
Perfect.
Vote for Prickly. Worked really hard. 250 FPS. Pew pew.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
All right.
I'm glad you're
thanks.
able to make it in.
Yep. Thanks
All
for
right.
stopping
Hey, thank
in.
you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks and working through the technical issues. I appreciate it.
No problem.
worries.
No problem. Good luck on the rest of your car.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
All right. So it is 250
Deal.
FPS. That is a
Impressive.
super heavy hitter. Yeah. So next up, which
We're
I
down
think
to
is
360i,
last
right?
up. Yeah, it's 360i. Let me double check that little sheet that has all the information that we have on every entry. Yeah, 360i.
That's what it's looking like for me. I've already got it pulled up. And I was going to say, hey, we're gonna end on a good note, but I think we could have ended anywhere and ended on a good note because we have just a whole rack of good quality entries.
100%.
And that feels good.
Yeah, no, it feels amazing. And I mean, yeah, it's as you said, and we have anyone we end on a good note, and this one is just it's Master Key, it's
Rival.
Yeah, exactly. you got me. It's like, yeah,
You're
no,
giggling over
Rival.
there.
I love Rival. Give me more Rival. And yeah, it's like it's full auto spray and pray. It looks so clean. It's 360i's Atom 2. If you have the spreadsheet up, you want to read off all the goodness that it is.
Firing modes: full auto foam darts and slam fired rival rounds. Length 95.25 centimeters, approximately 37.5 inches. Whew, just got it long. 2S LiPo, Worker 132 flywheel motors, stock Hyperfire motor, 14 gauge wiring, slam fire only rival Pathfinder. Blasters used: Raptor Strike, Hyperfire, Pathfinder, Long Strike Barrel, Double Breach, Stampede, Ray Blaster. And this is another one of those where the initial pictures got posted, and it's kind of like, okay, what's the plan here? What is your where's the goal? And a few pictures kind of changed around. The Alpha Hawk part got pictured like upside down in reference to everything else a few times, and that was kind of a head scratcher. But yeah, once things really started to coming together, and I think I've talked about it a few times in previous streams, is the extending the Hyperfire stock. Because anybody who's picked up a Hyperfire realizes how weird and alienating the grip is, where if you're if you're tucking it into your shoulder, it's not too bad. But if you're trying to hold it out in front of you at all, it kind of kinks your wrist a little bit. And so he cut a spacer in, looks like probably 2.5 inches, just going off the picture, and slid it back a little ways and just put a bit of a Stampede thumb hole link in there instead. And also kind of spacered down, made the grip itself taller through the trigger area. I don't know if he just has large fingers or what, but you can see there's a picture above a little ways, kind of midway through the list, where he's got a bunch of clamps, the big blue clamps holding everything together. And just almost there. Yeah, that one right there. You can see all the cuts where the grip is taller through the trigger and lengthened from the grip to the stock.
Yeah. It's
And I
crazy
really
how many pieces are there.
Yeah, but yet once it's all buttoned up and painted, you don't even notice, which is kind of a shame. It's one of those, like we spoke during the last stream, and I think the one before, where when an integration is so good that you can't see the pieces, it's almost too bad, because other more casual eyes may not see the extra amount of work, but it also means that you did a good job because you can't see the extra amount of work. Like stuff like the same picture shows really well where the Alpha Hawk, yeah, no, that's the other one, Raptor Strike, sorry. The little cheek rest area just kind of rolls back into the Pathfinder stock top, stuck on top of the Hyperfire stock and everything. And so you just have this nice consistent line that rolls all the way across front to back. And then there again, once it's painted, it just looks correct.
100%. Yeah, it just looks like one thing that's always meant to be. Is that a Stampede like top rail at the very top between those blue clamps?
Oh, yes it is. Yeah, that sits on top of the pusher motor and then rolls forward. Yep.
So I thought that. Wow, I gotta go to like. Yeah, no, I got to just go into the next picture, and it's like, I thought that was part of the Raptor, the whatever the Acu Strike thing is called, the orange one. I thought that was part of it, and it's not. And the thing it's connected to is not even part of it. That's something else entirely, and it's crazy. It's just
everything just kind of flows right together. And the long and lean design of the Pathfinder works really good with the similar details of the Raptor Strike, where it's kind of slab-sided and there's not a whole lot of excess greeblies and different lines and stuff, and so you get two kind of rather long, boxy blasters tucked up, one underneath the other, and it just works once it's all said and done. It just they just all blend right together.
It does, and it works phenomenally, because it's like, oh, also the only one in the competition who gave us a banana to scale was 360i, which was much appreciated. I don't know what type of banana it is, but it's one of those little things. But yeah, so scrolling down, I saw that picture and I had a comment on it. Scrolling back down to it, it's just
a very unusual combination of parts, very very unexpected and unprecedented, and topped off with a very nice, very sanitary paint job. Like I've said a few times, there's a lot to be said for just a nice, nearly clinical black and white paint job with a little accent pulling it in, and that kind of sky blue just really pops, almost glows.
It does.
And then accented by the orange.
And it just looks like one blaster. It's like, it's so however, like, actually no, he shows it's what is he? It's trying to see like what he used just to smooth that all together. It's just epoxy. That almost
there's not a whole lot of body. There's a little bit of looks like it might just be putty.
Yeah,
but it looks like you might. There's a few spots in there where the grip's getting added onto that might be some kind of like a ABS glue or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's so smoothly like flows together, and you don't see any seam lines, and
it just works.
Yeah, it works. It works beautifully. It's just like one injection molded piece. And also the Raider drum at the end was just chef's kiss.
Oh yeah,
I love
it.
I
Really
love
balances it out. Where you got kind of a rather husky looking blaster, and then have that little drum kicking off to the side a little bit.
Yeah. I do want to see it with the CS50 drum, just for that extra oomph.
Oh boy.
But yeah. But yeah, no, is good. And so
Well, that angle, that last angle there, really shows the Pathfinder stock, or I guess Pathfinder cheek rest, whatever you want to call it, on top of the Hyperfire stock. It just looks real good. That little line there, whereas the Hyperfire cheek rest is a bit blockier. I mean, it's curved on top, but it's still kind of a bit chunkier looking, and this just really streamlines it down.
100%.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to see. I'm going back to the actual thing. So it's a 2S on 132 motors. So I'm imagining. Does he actually say FPS? No, he doesn't. What 2S 130s? If they're meant for 2S, and it's normal size.
Well, it's hard to say if those are
130?
the early worker 132s or if those are the high RPM, like the higher RPM 132s that came a little bit later. They were like crazy torque. Because
There's only so
the
much
first round of 132s were kind of weak, but yeah, the second ones that came out were pretty darn good. So he's probably 130 plus anyway, not knowing what cage or anything.
Yeah, so I'm imagining a nice HVZ blaster because you have that, the Slamfire rival, so you can kind of Slamfire reload the primary blaster and just keep going. And we also have a firing video from him.
That's right.
360i. We're getting some nice rate of fire.
Bonk, bonk,
and then
bonk,
thunk, thunk, thunk.
Bonk, bonk.
Yeah. And it's just, it's smooth. And you get I'm just going to go back to the Slamfire. Because a lot of things that I've seen on integrations when they have Slamfire or like some sort of master keys, you see like the blaster flex, right? Because it's not fully, there's not fully supported, but that just looks very solid.
Yeah, very, very unified.
Yeah. And also the dart spray, I'm so happy with. Yeah, no, it's nice. Yeah. And so he's named
very
it.
good. Adam 2. No clarification. I don't think there's any information in any of the emails regarding the origin of the name. Maybe we will learn about that at some point.
Yeah. Who was Adam 1?
I know who Adam 12 was, but this must come a lot earlier.
Neither here nor there. Yeah, no, it's good. And it's just we've so many great builds for Gestalt.
Well, and so many great builds overall. I think we can. I think we'll close up on this. We'll say 360 guy wishes everybody all the best of luck and
best of luck. Vote for 360i and the Adam 2. One of the very few blasters to use rival in the MergeMasters.
Let's back it on out to your splash page or whatever, and let's have a little talk, everybody.
Yeah.
You got a few people kicking it in chat right now.
Yeah.
So what a good swath of blasters from all three classes.
100%. Yeah.
I'm really happy with the turnout for a first kind of almost impromptu, kind of thrown together at the last minute feeling competition, and doing a whole lot of work, on the back end trying to make it work during the course of the competition. But you want to talk about voting?
Yeah, let's talk about some voting.
All right, everybody.
I actually have a voting preview, which I should just be able to jump to.
Yeah, let's just do kind of a walkthrough of what the ballot looks like before we post the link so that everybody's forced to pay attention for a minute.
Yeah, I have to. Oh, I didn't layer these correctly, but we can fix that right now.
Okay, if this is the worst technicality we've had today, then we're doing all right.
So voting will take place on Google Forms, the Google Docs voting. It will open up as soon as I post the link in chat tonight, which will be in a couple minutes or so, and it will end May 25th at 11:59 p.m. MDT. So, Mr. Nathan's time.
And right about a week. Actually, a week and a couple hours.
Week and a couple hours, yeah. And then on the 26th, which is the Sunday, we will announce the winners. everyone.
we realized, well, I'd realized like today that next week is Memorial Day weekend, so we understand that maybe not everybody will be live, although it would be more fun if you are a contestant or an entry that you were live for the announcement, but if you're not, it's totally understandable.
Yeah.
I'm mentally and emotionally prepared for having a small turnout, but we were going to plow through anyway.
Yeah. Are we going to accept speeches?
Ahead of time?
No,
You want
no, no,
everybody
yeah.
to make it?
Yeah,
Oh,
speeches.
you mean if somebody's in chat?
Speeches. Yeah, we
Well,
drag
heck
them
yeah.
in.
If we got
They
people in
wanna
chat, then yes, we
speech?
will for certainly.
I'll get the Oscar music, so when they're taking too long, I play them off. It'll be great.
Yeah, so yeah, we will do
Yeah.
that. If you are a entry and you show up in chat and you're hanging out and you are a winner, then we will be happy to drag you in and let you talk about it a little bit. We don't have any
Yeah, so
roses, but you're free to cry.
yeah, we expect it actually. But yeah, so everyone could vote, even if you're participating, you can vote, and you
We would
have
encourage you to vote.
Yeah, please vote. Vote, vote for yourself. Be proud of what you did. Yeah, if you participated. But you have one vote per class, so one vote for the Fuser class, which is Naptown, Cats Blasters, Wizards, Builds, Tusks, Dr. Ishil, Jeremy Z, the Caribou Ninja, and Primate for the Fusers. And all you do is you click it, and it's just everyone's taken the quiz before.
And
Chimera.
the list at the top of each class is a link to the spreadsheet. So if you want to have a quick little run through of a particular build to see where it, kind of what the process was, if you missed some of the multi-hour long live streams that are explaining all this, you can walk in last minute, click on that link, have a quick run through of all the information available for that blaster, and then make your selection there.
Exactly. Vote with your heart. Whatever you think looks the coolest, or whatever you feel is the coolest. But yeah, same thing with
that is worth mentioning. A lot of people, when I was first announcing the competition, say like, "Well, do you vote for the best paint job, or do you vote for the cleanest integration?" And it's like, well, you vote for what you like. If paint jobs are more important, if layout is more important, if concept is more important, there's not one single criteria. It's just everybody builds to their heart's delight, and you vote to your heart's delight. And it might not be the same thing, so you just vote for whichever one makes you feel happiest.
Exactly. Yeah, so then Chimera, we have Gale Wolf, JND0210, Camric, Mystic One, Casual Jerry, and Prickly Nerf mod, or Prickly's first entry. Yeah, so he's have great competitors there. And once again, yep, as Mr. Nathan said, we have all the spreadsheets. Just click on their name, take a look. You want to look in depth of how they build it. A lot of people have build logs, and their socials, if they have socials, are posted on the spreadsheet. And then, yeah, finally, Gestalt, which, as you guys saw tonight, Vile mods, Grim Reaper, Prickly Nerf mods again, 360i, Tusk, Terran, Staranus, I believe I pronounced that right, and Styranius, and Ginger Snap Arms. So, yep, you vote once per class, and then you just hit submit. It will ask you to sign in with a Google account, which I'm expecting everyone has YouTube, so they have some form. If you don't, you can quickly make a free Gmail account, but that's just so we don't get multiple people spamming a vote. So, and if you really can't, please just message myself on Discord, and we can talk about something.
And I guess we can do a quick run through on the prize pool one more time, just to so everybody knows what they're fighting for.
100%. So
rolling up here, trying to reset my. Oh, I had a bunch of pictures.
So yeah, so once again, the prize pool for each class, the first place, the 3 MergeMasters, which is first place in each category, will receive Gopher Teeth. Very nice modification tools.
Which are very nice. Very nice. I have some in hand. Many people in the Discord and in chat have attested to their positive experience with it. It doesn't cut metal, but it cuts plastic like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Really good for making fine adjustments in shells when you're mating blasters together.
And
that is for first place only in each category.
yes, first place only in each category. And then we'll go over the third through first place for Flywheel of the World prizes. So Merge Maven, which is third place each category. A pair of just FTW black micro flywheels, just simple micro flywheels. But if you're in the US or Australia, you're more than welcome to swap that out for our tiny 3S 500 milliamp LiPo. And that's just, I message you and then we discuss that. Second place of all the MergeMasters, second place each category will get the flywheels or the battery. Once again, it's their choice. And then the holster fidlock magnets, whether we have the micro size magnets and the full holster size ones. Once again, your choice. The ones in the picture there are the micro ones. And then finally, for the MergeMasters, first place each category. Once again, it's the wheels or battery, your choice. The holster magnets of your size preference, and just a pair of Merlins. So each category, first, second, third place, will receive those. And then you want to go over the...
Yeah. Then our last bit of the prize pool is from Rainbow Mods and Props. I believe his web store is rainbowmods.com. But he's sending a swag pack of a pair of patches and a keychain and also a voucher for his store. The third place Merge Maven gets a 10 euro, and MergeMeister is 25 euro. MergeMasters get 40 euros. And so with the changes in exchange rate right now, it's pretty much 1-to-1, give or take. But so you get he'll send you the little swag pack and give you the voucher, which I believe is like an in-store code type thing.
Yeah, and we'll hit you up on that. I'm assuming we have to get like shipping addresses and everything. So
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
Once after the award ceremony, we're not going to announce anything or message the winners ahead of time because it's going to be a surprise for everybody. But
Exactly.
afterwards, after the stream, we will email all of the winners in all classes individually through the same email that you entered through. And this will come from the MergeMasters Comp email. We will be asking for an address, proper names and addresses and stuff like that. Please be patient with us because we have 3 different sets of prizes coming from 3 entirely different sources. Just because instead of everybody sending their stuff to me and then I send it out separate, it's just quicker and easier to have those individuals send their items to the winners on their own. So there might be a bit of a lapse between packages and stuff.
Yes, and I haven't actually talked about this with Nathan yet, but if we do get overseas winners, because Gopher is US, right?
Correct.
So we do get overseas winners. It might take a little bit longer because we might actually condense those packages just for ease of shipping. But that's something
at that point we'll we'll have to convene once we figure out where all the winners are and stuff. We will kind of put our heads together and try to find the most efficient way to do it for situations like that. But so just be patient with us a little bit. We will be in communication if there's going to be any strange delays, for sure.
Of course. Yeah.
Because you guys all worked hard and you deserve your awards and you deserve to know where your prizes are at any given time.
Yeah. So I just clicked, you can even see it on screen. I just clicked accepting responses. And so I'm going to now.
You making your vote live?
Yeah, I'm going to make the vote live. I'm just gonna.
Well, you're going to walk us right through. All right.
Yeah, you're just going to see everything.
Where the host's bias lie.
I'm going to immediately close that once I copy that little link, so that way no one can see anyone that voted. But yes, we will put that in chat, and with that, the voting is live, and it will be live for the next week. Anyone in the Nerf, you have friends in the Nerf hobby, local groups.
You want to promote your stuff? You want to post that in your Discords and your Instagrams and your Facebooks and things, and say, hey, I'm in this competition. Here's the voting thing. Then
Yeah.
go ahead and spread the word as much as you care to, or you can.
Yeah, there's as long as they have a Google account, they can vote.
We would ask that if you have like work accounts and spouses and family members, don't necessarily go through your whole house and have everybody vote unless they have a vested interest in it. I mean, we're wanting to keep things as honest as possible to maintain kind of the integrity of the competition, but that is the reason why we kind of have the Google login version, just so we can't have people just logging in and clicking and clicking and clicking. So please try to honor that as much as possible.
And as I said, if you for some reason you cannot make a Google login account, message me on Discord and we'll work something out.
Yeah, we want it to be as accessible as possible, as fair as possible. But yeah, we want to make sure that nobody is left without a voice. So if you're feeling you don't have that voice, yeah, reach out either through the email or on the Discord, and we'll try to make that accommodations for you.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I think that I've just posted it in the general chat, and I need to pin it as well for now for
Perfect.
Discord. Let's see, where is that pin message?
Yep. And as soon as we're done here, I will post stuff to the Mr. Nathan media stuff separately, and try to get the word out as much as possible. So you have 1 week. Good luck to all the entrants. You all did a bang up job.
Yeah, you guys are all amazing. Like, thank you everyone for participating. I mean, we're gonna gush about you more on the the winner stream, because it's really everybody's a winner. That is, as much as cheesy as it is. If you participated, you guys did awesome. I literally have all the finished blasters as my wallpaper because they look so cool, and it's just so cool to look at.
And we will, on the Sunday stream, we will be going a quick run through of the non-finished entries or intent to enter our Victus Tempest class. All the people who couldn't quite beat the clock, regardless of personal circumstances or whatever they are. Just kind of a quick visit to give them the honor of, hey, they started a thing. They had intentions, and that counts for something, and that should be respected. So we'll do a quick run through of that, and also just to drag out the anticipation of the final vote.
Yeah, exactly. We're not gonna give you guys the vote right away. You gotta wait for it a little bit.
Got to wait for everybody to get in the chat and everything. So final, I think that'll still be at the same time, same place. It'll just be the next Sunday, and we'll go from there.
Hey, you want next Sunday, 6 Mountain Time,
6 my time.
Yep.
So
MDT, 6 p.m. MDT. We'll make a little stream for that, and we'll make sure to announce that through the week. And I'll in Discord through the week, I'll go, ooh, some of the races are getting kind of close. And I'm gonna say that no matter what, but it could.
We're not going to tell you what the numbers are.
Yeah,
I imagine they're going to be tight. We got some pretty good competition in there.
Yeah, I mean the voting's already started. I'm seeing it. It's crazy. Yeah. Until
Very
then.
good.
Yeah.
Until next time, dear listeners.
Yes, we will see you later. Thanks all for joining.
Yep. Good luck.